That's so exciting, and it's so amazingly attractive.
Yeah, you're not laughing now, are you?
Well, you're not laughing because it's a bit cheeky asking for a like when I am 8 minutes late. Massive apologies. The only excuse I've got is none. I wasn't going to stream. I've done an hour in a tuk-tuk in the 38 degrees. I'm not complaining. I am complaining. Absolutely complaining. I went up, right, out here. Now, you know I've got a bit of knowledge about the VAR on the new mic and speakers. Tell me you heard the VAR. I've got new mic and new speakers, and I just heard a Wartenstein. Did anyone hear it? I've just turned my volume up. But I've got a funny feeling Packer's going to join us. And if I turn my speakers up, oh, Anglo said no VAR. And right, okay, that what I'm going to do. No, Eleanor, I am not anywhere near enough. And moved house, and the missus had surgery, and sinusitis, had it all up. What'd you get? Knackered. Funny, wasn't it? I'd done that stream, knackered stream. Then the next one was absolutely knackered stream. Then you didn't see me for, 3 weeks? Right, I'm going to change a setting on entropy. It's entropy that gives the VARTs. I'm going to try and give you one now, Anglo, as a manual. I don't know if you hear it though. Do you remember the megavarts? Now, if you heard any of them, they were for Anglo-Saxon, who's, I think, 42 songs. What's that, about 9,500 now? Anglo heard it. Now, I don't know whether that will, I don't know whether you'll get VARTs, people, unless I do them manually, but I'm quite happy to do them manually. It's familiar, isn't it? I was about to say it sounds familiar, but obviously it does. John Francis, always an happy chap, is sick of this pale male and stale colonial regime. I know, me too, actually. I'm actually sick of what's happening in France. That's ridiculous. I'm not going to talk about it because, well, it's set up to stop anyone radical. And is Macron really radical anyway? Not Macron, obviously not Le Pen. It's a start. It's more right. I've just been talking to someone about this, which is why I'm a bit late. I won't go into it in depth, not because you wouldn't understand it, but because you don't need to, and you probably won't want to hear it. But there's a very subtle difference in advertising. I separate that from marketing and branding. Advertising. There's a difference, and this is where most people get it wrong. There's a difference between messaging and signaling. Why am I telling you that? Oh, yeah. So with a lot of the AFD are kind of like the sort of outliers in this, where they are actually worthy of support and seem to be getting somewhere. That's just my opinion. I don't think there are any political truths. I think that would be a peculiar thing. Politics is debate. It's an ongoing kind of revolution, isn't it? It's a revolution of ideas. And I'm not suggesting that's a progression either. Good Lord, no progression, no truths. This is some kind of post-structural orgy. Imagine that. Me, Jacques Derrida, Candy Charms, Emma Glass. Mama Symbols made out of toffee. Now, when you hear that sort of chat, it's because I've got no energy. Eleanor witnessed it immediately, noticing the weight loss. And so I'm on that little bit. I'm on the fumes, not the ones Jimmy was on. Do you remember Jimmy from Philly when he got on the What's beautiful? I love him. If you're watching, James, I love you. But for a bloke with his experiences, if you don't know people, I know most of you do. Jimmy from Philly turned up, speaks the truth as he knows it, as he thinks it, doesn't hold back, doesn't realise that YouTube don't actually let you do that, and admirably won't curtail his commentary, but he keeps losing his channels, and that, so there is a slight problem there. But he got on the NO2, the what is it? Laughing gas. What's NO2? Nitrous oxide. That's it. Whippets, he called them. You know the little things that you make. You get cream, you put it in one of those sort of, I think it's aluminium things, and this thing puts the air in it so that you can spray whipped cream out. But if you just inhale it, and do not do it, all right? This isn't a recommendation. I'm just telling you. There was a website years ago called Boss of Nos, because NO2 looks a bit like Nos. And it was, they were selling them for making whipped cream. I remember in Glastonbury in about 1986 or something ridiculous, there was a load of, what were they called? I was one, crusties. Dreadlocks, army clothes, stink, disappointingly, usually for money. that if you haven't read my story, I think it might be called Poison Donkey Rides. I don't know, but it's my quadrophenia moment when I met Oz with Tentacles, and they were clearly upper class, well-to-do. Poe, don't do that. Come back here. While all their audience was sort of ruining their lives by turning on, tuning in, dropping out, becoming unemployable and addicted. Vartation did occur. Surely you heard that. Can I have did anyone hear that? Massive. I won't say it, but Neil Christie says that. LC350, you're going to like a couple of videos I've got racked up. That sounds like I've got a load of videos racked up now. It's a call-in show, but I've got two at the beginning that I want to show you that I know that you'll probably be into if you're still picking and a clicking. JP heard it. I want to run around, but my pants are going to fall down. No, I wasn't even joking. Oh, my pants did. I'm in my pants. Yay! This is the quad. This is why you come here. Look what we've covered already. I was going to tell you about disease as metaphor. People always say Susan Sontag in her book Illness as Metaphor. Yeah, she did. I mean, the exceptionally and frequently dubious Susan Sontag actually did hit upon something with the illness as metaphor. The body ages and can't work. That can happen and breaks down. You die. You can get a virus or something, and that has meaning. And different illnesses, like if you imagine going back like 5,000 years and someone was ill in the sort of tribe, they'd probably just be ill. But these days, different illnesses they bring with them different meanings. Like if you got the AIDS, people don't like the AIDS. If you got cancer, that's it. That's almost like a battle, isn't it? The fight against cancer. We will win the war. I've seen the war on cancer. I'm not saying any of this is right or wrong. I mean, obviously, I think it's ridiculous, but as a sign of a culture going downhill rapidly. But, look at Koof. Even just saying that to someone, like if I said to how many we've got in here? 60, lovely. I mean, it will go up. If I said to the 60 scrubs here now, hello, Bill, nice to see you, mate. If I said, I've got COVID, that brings with it loads of connotations. It brings with it, you then think, you know or assume that I believe in the COVID for a start. You know, this is just I've got an illness, something's going wrong, I've contracted something, or maybe I haven't, you know. And so, you know, anyway, I was going to talk about that, and I ended up saying I'm sitting here in my pants. So that's what I like about the Glorious House of Scrubs. Alan, I've got to show you something, Alan. This wasn't planned, but because you're here, me old mucker, I've got something specially for you. I wouldn't have shown you this before your operation. Hello, Tej. Nice to see you. But I found this on the webs the other day, and I can barely watch it, to be honest with you. My sentiment, weird Freudian slip. My comment was, is this some of that DEI I've been hearing about? Let me take your name off the screen now. Hope you're well, mate, and love to you back. But have a look at this. Now, it might be fake. Who knows these days? Who knows what even real is? That's the problem with hyperrealism. That's what Andy Warhol was trying to tell you. That's what the post-structuralists were trying to tell you. Because it gets to a point, well, you know about the map and the territory. That's Zabinski, Lewis Carroll, Baudrillard. There's a few more in that canon. And then when the map and the territory become the same thing, Will Self said, I think, if I remember rightly, wish I'd have grabbed that, which is what the internet is. It's a library. It's like it's a Borges calamity, really. Argentinian writer, I think, is Jorge Borges. He famously wrote, what's it called? It's got a weird name. Well, a lot of stories have, but it's only short, and it's called something like on the inexactitude of science. I think that was Borges' one. Anyway, but the internet is like a library of libraries, and it's its own map. Yeah, we won't go further down that road. Anyway, Alan, this isn't for you, so to speak, which means it is. This has been like one contradiction rolling downhill. Before I play this clip, I think it's only fair. He's put the time in. Ladies and gentlemen, show some love to the one and only P to the A to the KKA. The P to the A to the KKK. Here he is, Bakar.
Hello.
Oh, you are.
How are you?
Now, can you turn... Right, people, is Packer louder than I am?
Am I louder than Chris?
Yeah.
Not generally, no.
No, I mean, like... Someone who doesn't really watch my streams went, who's that fella that keeps turning up on your streams? You don't say much.
Don't say anything.
So, yes, there you go. Look, now, so that I don't have to turn myself down so that you can hear the VARTs, Packer, is there any way you can turn your input volume down?
Oh.
I know, look at that. See, that's a man who works with his hands. He's just, look at him. Look at that. There's a lot going on in that face. He's not said a word.
Better?
And we all...
How's that?
Yeah.
What about now?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. People, what's that like?
What about now?
Hello, Vincent. Long time no see. Vincent says it was. I think it's perfect now. Hello, Woodlander. Hello, Baz. Hello, James Tyler. Top Banana.
Everyone's here, Chris.
There you go. They're all here, aren't they? It's incredible.
Hello,
Hello,
did a stream earlier with Bobby.
Who did?
Woodlander.
Okay, old Bobby. Yeah, I've got a lot of time for Big Balls Bobby. I think he hasn't got so much time for me anymore because he's a very serious man, isn't he? And when I call him Big Balls Bobies, it doesn't fit him.
Had a good chat. Check it out.
No, I certainly will do. I mean, I tend to agree with a lot of what Bobby says about the sort of breakdown of, what would we call them? Separate societies, which is really what we all...
between them of what they both think is going to occur, how
which they also call multiculturalism, you know. No, I will check that out. Good tip. There's a tip for you people. So is it on Woodlander or Bobby's channel?
It's on Bobby's channel.
There you go. Woodlander, if that's not correct, let us know. But otherwise, people, just search, if you don't know, Gavin Bobby, Boby. Not now. Imagine Packer said it's better than this will be. So if you've got limited time, go now.
You want to listen to an interesting chat?
You want to listen to something that maintains the direction. Whereas me, I'm more like a weaver. I really am. Mumford said to me, he pointed out when Trump said about the constant tangenting. You want to read my novel? Well, yeah, all right. Don't say anything to that comment. But talk about weaving. That's like 1,000 grannies knitting. It is on Bobby's channel. There you go. Nice one, Woodlander. Hello, JP. Spanish chickens on the firm. John's here. Hello, Eleanor. Mouse Cat's here. Hello, Mouse Cat. There's Spanish chicken. I know it was a bit. There you go, blogs. Exactly. But when I'm talking, well, we could debate the difference between speaking and writing all day. That's my main area of study. So let's not do that, John Francis has noticed there's no mods today. I wouldn't be surprised if it's more symbolic, really, in the House of Scrubs. When people come in here and try and wreck it, I quite like them. I quite like the porn adverts, you know. Do you remember that fella that rung up and tried to sort of bluff me?
And he was
trying to confuse. The joke was that he thought I was related to Rodney Dangerfield, but and I checked his channel for a few months afterwards. It never made it to their collections of. That's what they do. They go on live call-ins, and some of them are quite funny, but I don't think I was in the mood. Rogue Trader. Nice to see you, mate. I tell you what. Hello, Rob. Spam lady. Not actually, Rob. Not spam lady. She's not spam lady. But yeah, she turned up a few months ago. Actually, she comes back occasionally. Look at Baz and Eleanor having a little bit of sub-dom in the background there. I see a lot of that going on in the chat. I won't have it. Well, I will. Just not with glass.
Cecil Pandahangadang.
That's it. Well remembered. Cecil Pangadanga.
I don't think you'll find I pronounced that perfectly.
Yeah. Willow, I dreamt about you the other day, Willow. I dreamt about you last night and I fell out of bed twice. Anyway, right. This is a call-in, but first of all, back to Alan and his legs, but not really. I don't know if this is real. Wow, that goes all the way back to that. LC350 is still a mod. Yeah, but I don't mean... Are you talking about on her channel or that you wear a parka and a boating blazer and a pair of bowling shoes? I'm assuming the latter. Willow, I will never admit to making anyone or myself climax. It's so asexual. Oh, I had such a good fuck last night. Climaxed everything. Never. If I was with a bird, even if she was the woman of my dreams, so weirdly I am with that bird. And after sex, she went, what a climax. That'll be the end. I'd have to leave. Can't climax. Ultra Mega Essex Boy. Hello, mate. Hello, Scott. Goodbye to all that. I don't know what about what. Climaxing. Is Wolfie in here? I can see people saying hello to him. There he is. I'm new around here. Sure. Listen, Packer. Yeah, everyone's here. Everyone. Right, let's get on with this clip. Then I've got 2 clips to show you, and then we'll get some of you scrubbles on. Have a look at this. It's a bit of that new DEI that you've heard about. Found this on Twitter. It ain't pleasant. If you're I've got to say all this because I saw the new rules. If medical work, it's not gore, but it is pretty extreme medical. Did you hear the VAR? The VARs are back. Packer says no.
I don't get them. I get kind of more of a foot.
I'm going to deal with the VARs in a moment. I did just. I turned myself up a bit though.
Oh.
I'm going to do a couple of manuals. Oh, it's because I hadn't saved it. Here's a mega VAR to make up for them.
Well, Ego Anglo, that's what I'm drinking.
There you go.
And I started this bottle last night.
I drank a whole bottle of that in Betsy Coed in Wales.
I got to about there last night, Chris. And then I started messaging 42.
Did anyone hear that VAR? Because I've turned it up. Did you? What, you just got the old I want to talk to someone here?
Oh, did you? Yeah. And I read the message back this morning that I sent him, and I ain't got a clue what I was on about.
No one heard that VAR. VAR list. Right, let me change that back to... I don't know. I really don't know what's happening. It was yes earlier, now it's no.
So what have you done with your old microphone? Have you donated it to...
as far as I could? No, that would have been taken to pieces and recycled by now. Seriously.
I thought you'd have sent it to Wuhan Lab or something for the for whatever's on it.
I sold it in the wet market down the road.
Last thing going into a big pot of soup.
Oi, here we go. Sorry, Pac. I just actually heard what he said. The niggler's niggling.
Oh yeah. No, booze is my key. I don't know about. I've no idea how much copper's in it though. But copper ain't so bad. It's aluminium you got to watch out for.
I'll tell you, illness is a metaphor. Someone said to me, well, I was really after that 5-hour stream, I was like, someone went, what's wrong with your throat? I said, talking for 5 hours without warming up my nodules. And he went, nah. He went, throat cancer. And I said to him, I won't get cancer because I don't need it. And that's what led me down the metaphor route. And I there's something in that. It's not just magical thinking. Anyway, we don't want to go down there. It's the weekend calling. I will do, mate, it was about 13 years old. It didn't work. It gave me electric shocks. You know, it was over. This is lovely, this one. It's lovely. Thank you, Eleanor.
It looked like something that the First World War was announced on.
Yeah. Well, this one ain't much better in looks, but it's only that big though. It's about half the size of the other one. New speakers. I got my new speakers and my subwoofer wouldn't work with them. And I was like, no way, as if I'm going to get one of them out in Cambodia. And, fucked it all up now. There you go. And I put them on, played some music, didn't need it. Turns out technology has changed in 15 years and you can have tiny little speakers and they've got actually more bass than I needed. Right, we'll do the generous donations. Can you see that QR code, Packer? You can't, can you?
No.
Let me try.
No, it should be there, and it isn't. It should be.
Is it on the YouTube?
Oh, hang on. Let me check.
Yes.
Yeah, it's at the bottom.
Yeah, but that's where it is meant to be. Well, it isn't, but that's where we're going to... I think they've changed it. Yeah. If someone in the chat could... I've just pressed some buttons I didn't need to press. So if someone can confirm that that's still there, we'll get to all that. Jake, now you must have heard that one.
Yeah, it was free.
Anglo, I will get to all these donations. I just read that last one, very funny. But I've got to watch this. Right, I'm just.
I was thinking I might get one because there's quite a lot of ceiling in my camera.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was great, and I hid up there once from a girlfriend. Scared the life out of her. I waited for her to go to bed as well and everything. Rogue Trader, I assume you're investing. Listen, I just got to say, I won't dwell on it, but all the scrubs that got involved with free trade, all the emails I'm getting, I'll tell you what, as someone who suggested that free trade and a bit of long-term investing might be an option, and then you would have been so lucky. It couldn't have been better timed. I mean, anyone who has invested as I suggested, or as I, and continued to DCA, you should be doing very well relatively to what you put in. I know that a load of people have, because people have emailed me and I'm getting them daily. They're like, it's jokes. Some scrubs have made life-changing money. And I couldn't be happier. Amazing. What an amazing thing. Like buying houses, retiring early, things like that. I mean, wonderful. If you are a scrub who did get on that free trade or any long-term investing, and it's, even if it didn't go well, email me and let me know. I'd be interested to know why. If it didn't go well, because I know what's happened to the markets over the last few years, it will be probably because why most new investors don't go well, because they don't do what the plan is, and they think, hang on a minute, if I wait till tomorrow, that'll be a bit cheaper, and then it goes up a bit, and they sell it, and they think, when it goes down a bit more, I'll buy that, and I'll have made it, and they start day trading. Dead people make more money than day traders. It's a fool's errand. It was only ever about long-term investing, but it's been really nice, and I really appreciate everyone who's written to me and told me. Some of them had me in tears. Well, Well, I got a bit of water in my eyes, but that's pretty good for me. Anyway, here we go. Rogue Trader says, I'm not invested, I'm a gas fitter. And I know what you're about to say, that TV show about all the cowboys, is it? I got the nickname Rogue Trader in the real world because a firm I worked for was on Rogue Trade. That's terrible, isn't it? You worked for them, and what's that called? What's the idiom for that? By association, I can't remember the first bit. Guilty by association.
No, but he's owned it though.
He has. That's what he's doing. He's doing the double bluff, isn't he?
Yeah.
Or is he just kind of sublimating it, letting it out on YouTube? Because in his real life, when he rocks up someone's house, they're like, the missus, he knocks on the door, he goes, I come to do your plumbing or your gas fitting. And the missus goes, go and Google Rogue Traders. I recognise this fella. And then 10 minutes later, she goes, yeah, it's actually, we're all right. It's working fine. Right, hang on. I don't know what's happened. Is that me? Have I not listened? John's actually got a name. Is it Pimlico Plumbers?
No, that's that fucking pandemic twat, isn't it? Do you remember him? Looks like Pound Shot Rod Stewart.
Oh, it rings a bell, but
he looks like a Pound Shot Rod Stewart, and he runs, I think it's Pimlico Plumbers. It's a massive plumbing firm, and he was
I
he
never
kind of got famous because he done well for himself. But then he waded in on the whole pandemic thing, and just made a complete knob of himself. He was all for
look at that, and it was. Look, Rogue Trader was yesterday. Okay, so he got a touch of fame, and he rode his luck and fell off.
But he then went online talking about it and said pandemic.
I tell you what, I know football doesn't go well in the glorious house, doesn't go down well in the glorious house of Scrubs. Well done, Arsenal. 2-0. Man United, set piece FC. I'll take it. Anyway, you get it in the goal. Lovely.
I don't mind if you beat Man United. That's cool.
Thank you.
I'm West Ham. If you beat Man United, that's fine with me.
I think we done you 6-0 last season and 5-1 this season. Anyway, hang on. What was I going to say about that? What were we talking about? Yeah. Ferdinand. What's his name? Rio Ferdinand. He's a pundit, right? Now imagine, Rio. Imagine being a pundit. What do you want out of a pundit? You want someone who knows the game, tick. You want someone with experience, not always, but it's nice to know when they talk about, they've actually been and done it all, tick. Someone who can articulate themselves. I've heard him 3 times now say, instead of saying spoken, he said talken. Talken. Now the thing is, if you know they're wrong, you know what they meant to say. And I always say that to people when they call me up on a mispronunciation or something. I go, well, if you know what it is, there's no problem, is there? But that don't work, because if every word was wrong, you wouldn't. It's only context. If Rio Ferdinand come up to you and went, have you ever talken? You'll be like, I don't know if I want to either. But yeah, he said we've talking about that. I've heard him say it 3 times now. Anyway, let's get on to this video. Then I've got a couple more. We've done half hour already. It's already 2 o'clock in the morning here, so we'll probably do an hour and a half or 2 hours. I haven't even introduced a grift, which is a terrible shame, because I'm eating out the gutters at the moment. I'm only 1 kilogram. My girlfriend's out working at the moment. I say work. She's selling her kidney. Right. How do you do this?
How is she, by the way?
How is she?
Last time we saw her, she was waving at us from the hospital bed, I think.
She never complained once in the hospital. She never complained once when she got back. She's got dietary restrictions. She can't drink. And she hasn't complained once. It's like unreasonable. It got to the point where I was trying to say to her, look, surely there must be some frustration or anger or something building up in you, and I don't want it to all come out. And she's just like, no. She said, I'm just happy that I'm alive. Thank you for the help. Wow.
Yeah, how likely was it that hospital got paid for if you weren't in the picture, Chris?
Yeah, not a chance. It was a lot of money. And
that's why she's forever humble at you about that.
But no, we haven't got that kind of relationship. And I let her know very early on. I wrote her a letter. I fell in love with her the first night I met her. Then I bought her an engagement ring for the second time. And then the third time I wrote her a long letter, and I said, look, I ain't doing any of this. I'm not renting you for life. I'm in love with you. And if you fall in love with me and it works, but I don't own you. And she's not like that at all. Anyway, let's have a look at this. I don't even know. I can't even remember what you said. That's why I just stopped there. But, I'm like, if I've got an ingrown toenail, you're hearing about that all day unless you give me a slap and tell me to shut up about it. Right, here we go. Have a look at this. Talking about hospitals. Nice segue back to hospitals there, Packer. Entire screen. Sorry about the size of the image, but it's a Twitter video. X. Check this out. Ready? Trigger warning, if you don't like horrible things on human bodies. It's not gory, though, but here we go. Now, I mean, there's a fair chance that they're students in training, perhaps. That's all I can think. And they've got some kind of instrument stuck in, because they do use cadavers, don't they? You can donate your body to science. I've already done that while I've been alive. They ain't having it again.
I find that quite intriguing, because I have worked with a lot of nurses in my time.
I bet
so
you
I
have.
know. Eh?
Go on.
So I know what they get up to, but it's actually quite funny to me. I find it quite amusing.
I was about to say that. I was about to say something similar. I've got a mate, and he went through medical school. He didn't end up doing anything in that profession. I think he's some kind of physician or something now. A physician, not physician. That's weird. You know what I mean? The non-medical. He's into physics. He does something to do with bodies moving in space, right? Oh, that sounds like medical anyway. But he said, you first, second year medical school, you're getting pissed up. They're all letting themselves into the laboratories, and they're chasing each other around with legs and just smacking each other over the head with. I mean, you'd put money on it, wouldn't you? Do medical students fuck about with cadavers? Yes or no?
I have worked in a slaughterhouse, and it's the same.
What, an animal slaughterhouse?
Yeah, we slaughtered pigs.
And people just sort of, you're having your lunch, and they tap you on the shoulder and put a pig's head on you.
Yeah, so one of the things is you wear normal white cloth cotton overalls, but you wear like a butcher's apron, which is like a material that's got like a waxy coating on it.
Okay, like a barber jacket.
Eh?
Like a barber jacket. I know you mean an apron.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Now, what you don't know the first day you walk in is that pigs' eyeballs will stick to that apron.
I'm just getting the water. I can hear you. Go on.
So people will throw eyeballs at each other just for a laugh. When you stand in a room all day cutting up animals into bits and throwing them into massive tubs, it's quite boring, but you're in a room full of blokes, so you fuck about, don't you?
I'm thinking like those little things you get in fields that hook onto your clothes. It's like almost...
you know them little rubbery toys you used to get that you throw at the wall and they'd climb down? Do you remember them things, like covered in some kind of slime? It's a bit like that.
Oh, fucking hell, I've just forgotten. My missus said to me, when I done my last YouTube, she said, you can't shout around and all that like you did at your old house. And it's 2 a.m. and I'm going, hang on, back, hold tight. Oh, dear.
Yeah, so anyway, so you just fuck about, don't you? So, yeah, I'm quite... And I've met a lot of nurses, and they do mess about. But
John says, what the fuck are they on about? Anyone know? Scott says, I knew a girl whose parents were medical missionaries in Africa. She grew up helping her parents. I can't. She grew up. I'll leave that on the screen for you to. Oh, look at that. A whole bunch of students get kicked off courses every year. You know what, Essex boy, when you say disrespecting, when I went, what was his name? I was on Channel 4 with him.
Can we call it Jimmy Savile?
No. What was his name, the actor? That interview I'd done off my fucking head. Oh, gosh, what was his name? Anyway, it's more interesting if you know him or know who I'm talking about. Anyway, I'll remember a bit later, or someone in the chat will. Very famous, like Hollywood actor back in the day. He said to me, he knows of people who pay off people who look after morgues. Like they pay him money. So that's it. Nice one, Rob. Rupert Everett it was. That's it. Yeah, we got it because he interviewed me about prostitution. the conversation afterwards carried on, and he started, "Oh, I've got to show you this as well. Sorry, Pete. I will go a bit long to make up for this." I was with my first girlfriend, right, and we'd been awake for about 3 days on the powder, like having a weird, you know what the pervert powder's like. And by about day 3, she was scratching her neck and all this lot, right? And it wasn't a very filthy little drug. It wasn't a trap house or anything, but you know, at sort of 18, I didn't clean the sheets too often and all this. And anyway, by about day 3, she was having like a scratch. She was going, "Can you see anything on my neck?" And it was about 6 o'clock in the morning. Well, about 5 o'clock in the morning. And when she's turned around, I've lifted up her hair, and she had long dark hair. I've lifted it up, and it's moving with head lice, right? In that 3 days, because she lived at home with her mother, who was weirdly a hairdresser, and she had lovely hair. But in those 3 days, she must have picked up some eggs on the way. They bred and bred and bred. And I just went to her, I said, "Nah," I said, "there's a couple of like eggs. I think you've probably got the start of lice," because there was nothing I knew we couldn't do anything about it for like 4 hours. And I said, maybe if you just have a little shower, it'll sort of, but that didn't, you know, that water doesn't get them off. But yeah, have a look at this video. And if you don't like things like that, this is really quite something. There's some kids, they've been swimming in like a lake. And when he come out of the lake, all that stuff on his shoulders, well, you'll get the idea when it starts moving. Oh, no, man. It's, you know, that's the stuff that's nightmare fuel right there, isn't it? Oh, when that big clump of them, like a planet's worth of bugs come out of his ear.
Mrs. Packer's on the sofa going, "This is making me feel itchy."
You might need to get that sofa sprayed. I'll tell you what, he's handling it well, though. I'd be out of that water for a start. Vincent said it might be frog spawn. I think it was just I don't know, Vincent, what it was. I wouldn't have said frog spawn, no, to be honest with you. But it might have been. Right, now, a couple more videos, because I want you might be interested in this. I know this is stuff for my other channel. I haven't done a video there for ages, but there's been a lot going on. I've got one. I'll make that tomorrow. If you're a member or you watch Lockpicking Legend, there'll be a new video tomorrow. It's quite a funny one as well. I don't just pick locks on there. I do stuff around the lockpicking scene, because there's so many channels where people just pick locks. Anyway, there's a tool in the lockpicking game called an under the door tool. And they were designed primarily for places like hotels and sort of like made to let Airbnb properties, where there's a little bit too much space under the door. And it's a very simple process. If you know, when you got a hotel room and you get a card, and when you go out, the door locks automatically and you need your card to let you in. Now, the problem is the locking mechanism doesn't actually lock the door. When you shut it and it goes beep, what it stops from happening, it stops you being able to move the handle. The door isn't actually locked. This has happened in loads of lock designs. It's a way of saving money, essentially. But so this tool's been around for about 30 years. This is a review of Sparrow's one done by my friend Bosnian Bill about 7 years ago. It's only a couple of minutes, but I want you to check it out, because even though this tool has been around for 20, 30, 40 years, I'm guessing, but at least 30. I know, you know, and you can make them. You can buy a little bit of steel rod and some dental floss will do, or a little bit of string. Very easy, but check it out. This is called an under the door tool. And remember what I'm saying, the door isn't locked. You just can't turn the handle from the outside. And if you add this to the fact that I can get you into any hotel safe probably in under 5 minutes. When I say any hotel safe, if you're in a proper hotel where you're paying a fortune for your room, I'm going to need a little bit more time. But those crappy little safes that you get in most hotels,
but if the bed sheets are purple.
Go on, Packer. I missed it.
But if the bed sheets are purple.
There's
a chain of hotels, of motorway hotels, where it's Premier Inn, all the rooms, all the bed sheets are purple.
Oh, what absolute class they're extolling. So if those safes are really to protect your passport and cash from the cleaners, to protect your things from the hotel staff. But have a look at how this tool works. Here we go.
Bypassing a fairly common.
Hang on, I don't know if you can hear that. You probably could, and I just stopped it unnecessarily. So yeah, you can knock one of these up for about 10, or you can buy them for about 50 quid.
Door, and you get left out of these all the time because people forget their keys. From the outside, can't get in.
Not just hotels, by the way, people. They work on loads of doors, but they're mainly used for hotels these days.
Now, what you notice, first of all, this is a commercial building, and these are commercial door handles, and they're not the ball. I guess old people have trouble handling balls. Man, I hate to even say that, but...
I've never heard him say that. I'm going to have to email him later.
Balls are actually better for hinges.
Balls are better for hinges?
Absolutely, they are, yeah.
Because they're putting less strain on the hinge.
Well, yeah, when that guy opens that door, he's going to push that handle down and open the door. And he's going to continue pushing the handle down while he opens the door and where the hinge is.
Yep, I'm with you. There's
Whereas
another tool
you
can get.
You turn the ball and you pull the door. You don't wear the hinges.
There's another tool you can get that's a spring-loaded thing that will punch the middle of a spring out. So you can have as many locks on the other side of the door as you want, but you punch the springs of the middle of the hinges out and then just open the other side of the door. Here we go.
Anyway, they're more comfortable handling levers in an emergency. There's smoke or whatever. It's easier to use the leverage to get in. So these are dictated by code, usually fire code, that they have to be levers. Anyway, how do you get inside of here? Well, first of all, you need a key. This is a Sargent. We could try to pick this, but Sargents are notorious for being difficult to pick. And believe me, that's...
They're not really. Well, fast forward through, actually, you might need to know a little bit of this.
Sometimes they forget to unlock it, or they forget their key when they leave. So if you unlock it from the inside, give it a click, then suddenly it works on the outside. But we're going to lock it. We don't face unlocked doors. We face locked doors. So let's get rid of that key. Close that.
So like I said, that little button he's pressed doesn't lock the door. It just stops the handle from moving on the exterior of the door. I guess it does. That's how most of
that door. And let's talk about how to get in here. There's a tool, and you see it kind of leaning there in the corner. That's the Sparrows under the door tool. They call it the UDT. Now, how does that thing work? Well, let me get the camera set up at a good angle, and I'll show you how easy.
Road Trader says a quick bit of raking. If it hasn't got security pins, and Sargent locks do tend to have a couple of spools, but if you rate it, you're probably going to be we're getting too much into it, but yeah, you could.
It is to get.
I love a bit of raking.
All right, guys, the door's still locked. Let's see if we can get into it using this under the door tool. It's really pretty easy stuff. All you do is you take the tool, you slide it under the door. Now, when you slide it, try to.
Well, you might not be able to see, but there's a bit of thread. Like I said, I use dental floss for this, but I don't know what he's using. Maybe a bit of catgut or something.
Keep it in line with the door handle because that's what we want everything to line up on. So rotate it all the way in, and then when it gets to the curved part, rotate it around, and what you'll hear is that door, the tool will strike the door on the left side there somewhere. Once it strikes it, then simply turn the handle all the way to the right, and it'll capture that door handle because that tool is designed to stand off from the door the perfect depth. Once you've got that, simply pull on your ring, and that's how you get in there. That's how quick it is. Pull your tool out, and
you will see the opposite angle because that's just rubbish.
are through the door.
Here we go. So this is what's going on inside. Right, so you get the idea. That's the underdoor tool. Every locksmith knows about them or has got one or could make one in a matter of minutes.
But normally a door would open into a room, so you would push against the door while you did that. Normally a door would open into a room. That door, he wasn't pushing against the door, was he? He was pulling it. So just have a look again. Just
hang on. I don't know what you're getting at. They do work.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
Here we go. Packer, you're starting to say too much. I never thought it would happen. Here we go.
So you rotate it all the way in, and then when it gets to the curved part,
tell me when to pause it.
Door is opening towards him.
Right. Watch.
Rotate it around, and what you'll hear is that door, the tool will strike the door on the left side there somewhere. Once it strikes it, then simply turn the handle all the way to the right, and it'll capture that door handle because that tool is designed to stand off from the door the perfect depth. Once you've got that, simply pull on your ring.
I see what you mean, yeah, but it doesn't matter. But I had to hear him say pull on your ring twice now. And what was the other one? Old ladies prefer to handle balls or something.
They can't handle balls.
So there's a geezer called Deviant Olam. I'm trying to get him to do some work for me at the moment, and it doesn't seem to be going too well. But check out what he's got up to. He makes a bit of a song and dance about something that should take. He's made a 12-minute video about this. YouTubers like to get that magic 10-minute mark because you can get free ads in it. But this is actually quite cool if you're into lockpicking. But check it out. Well, it's not lockpicking; it's bypassing. But I won't make you suffer too much of it.
The middle of them, and he played with some rod stock.
Can you see how he's wearing his belt? I mean, that is part of the video, but wow.
I can kind of shoved something in there. And it was a cool idea. And I wanted to make one. So I reached out to the same company. It's one of the biggest names in ratcheting belts. If you're not familiar with a ratcheting belt, maybe I'll throw some footage in here, right? But they have sort of two pieces of material back to back, stitched together. And it means that there's this long channel down the middle. And the head of the belt, the buckle, actually pops off in your hands with no tools. That's because you size them by cutting them. The belt's really long. You size it to your size. You cut it. You snap the head on.
Right, we get the idea. There's a nice little picture that explains all of that in one image. There you go. So essentially, there's belts that are like this.
The adhesive on the inside.
So essentially, it's a tube.
They said, yeah, here's the price. And we went back and forth a little bit more and decided on which colors and which grains. Obviously, I'm rocking the really cool green because green is my color. But I bought hundreds of these belts in brown and black.
All right, we understand colors, but obviously, what's he gone and done with his belt?
Down inside a belt is a real banging way to try to do this. So if you haven't seen Not So Civil Engineer's video, you're not familiar with this, yeah, underdoor tool inside of a belt.
He's got it. And listen, I'll tell you something. Not only can I guarantee that he'll wear that daily, there's a video on YouTube called I'll Let Myself In. That geezer is a penetration tester. So for a job, he's got a team of blokes, and they'll go to a company will hire them to test the security of their premises. And he rarely uses lockpicks. He says things like, "You'll be surprised what an IV vest and a clipboard will give you access to."
Oh,
and
he's brilliant. He looks like a complete dog.
yeah,
Seriously.
that's him.
I mean, he is so unassuming.
Hang on, are you
looking at
losing
him.
me?
Oh,
Oh,
you're
sorry.
saying he tests things, doesn't he? He like,
Yeah, yeah, there you go. Yeah, he looks like that
if he
kind of
walked in
geezer,
with a
doesn't he?
high-vis ladder, a high-vis
There you
vest and a ladder, you just let him in.
That's
That's
it. And then when he gets into like server rooms and that, he takes pictures of them and sends them to the CEO of like this sort of $500 million company. But here's the other bit. Him and his wife have got implants. They had their hands cut open and this little reprogrammable chip put in. And in their house, when they go up to the door, they can open the front door of their house with their hand. They just go up to it and go like that, and it opens. They can turn the lights on and off. They can turn the telly over, and they can reprogram the chip to do a variety of things. Now, the thought of that just gives me the shivers. But
my first thought is, so can I if I cut his hand off?
Well, there you go. Yeah, but horrible. The idea of it is horrible. But it's interesting though. It's interesting. Right, there's that. We don't need to see that. We don't need to see that. We don't need to see that. What we can do now is get someone on. Here we go. Anyone want to come in for a chat? I might have a couple of people in actually if they're up for it. There you go. Exactly that. A few sights and sounds. Oi, did you get your video? I'm going to do the super chats actually before anyone comes in. Right. Don't forget the grift. You've got entropy at the top of the chat, super chats at the bottom of the chat, and there's a QR code. Packer's going to guess. Yeah, right there. If you put your phone camera over that, you'll get a link on your screen. Press that. That's the one where they take the least money off me, and you get a video reply. Like not a standard one. I'll make it especially for you. Apologies, a few sights and sounds. Yours took a few days because I think I fell asleep after the last stream almost immediately. Right, let's deal with these. We're a long time back. Anglo dropped an air and sent a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have grift off. Amazing. Nice one, Anglo. Hoy to that. JP, he dropped £2 in. Anyone remember chuffing cans of lighter fluid? Never did lighter fluid. Plenty of Evo, though. I wouldn't. And also all those thinners, including butyl enamel nitrate, they can kill you. It can kill you. It's I mean, God, it worries you, doesn't it? That kids, you got kids in your Packer, they're going to get to that age where someone's going to go into a shop, buy a pack of crisps and a tube of Evo, a tin of Evo stick, throw the crisps away.
It doesn't scare you, Chris.
Terrifies you.
The living shit out of you.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I can imagine.
That's all it does.
24/7 as well. We done that one. Thank you, JP. Thank you, Anglo. What was it? It was that Fireball or something, wasn't it? Is it? I think I might have the wrong one. Is it like a cinnamon whiskey?
Sorry, yeah, it is. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's cinnamon whiskey.
That's the one.
Fireball.
I'd done a bottle at a bar in Thailand and nearly had a fight with the bar owner because he found out that I'd been with his missus for about 6 years ago, and he was the only bloke there who didn't know. He found out though. Yeah, it was a bit rough. But I, you know, at the start of the night, I thought it'd be a doddle. But every time he'd turn around, I was going to her and grabbing her bum and that. And you know, as the drunker you get, the more he notices what's going on. And at one point, I called his bluff. I went, "Thank you, Anglo, for that support," and the other one. At one point, I went, "Look, you're just shouting at me now." I said, "If you want to fight, let's just have a fight so we can get back to drinking." And that just done him. He was all like, he was only about 32. He would have just kicked the shit out of me. I could barely stand up, but it done him. And I thought, wicked. And I went, right, now shut up and let's do what we're here for. And then some bloke just turned up and went, "Hey, I heard you lot arguing. I think you're in the wrong and you're in the right." And everyone was like, "What the fuck has it got to do with you? You're just some geezer walking. Go on, jog on." Mousecat drops $9.99. Chris, in future, when we're all plugged into the Matrix, I wondered if books will be downloaded to our minds visually or with actual words to read. Well, Meta's glasses, I think, is it Meta doing them or Google or probably both of them? They're actually doing quite well where you get the writing on your lenses. That VART would have woken up Arthur Phnom Penh. If you didn't hear that, it ain't ever working.
I did hear it very quietly. But yeah.
Quiet VART. It doesn't. I will try and sort it out, people. The problem is I can't test it without going live. Oh, maybe I can. Maybe I can.
Just invite me to a.
Yeah, we'll do that one. Yeah, we've done that before, didn't we? Yeah. Yeah, we will. Mousecat, I found out the other day, having had Blinkist, the Blinkist app pushed at me for about, did I put the invite into the chat? I think I did. If no one's up for it, it doesn't matter.
Come on, people.
Wasn't Rollo brilliant? Wasn't Rollo brilliant? Everyone loved him. Some people are attracted to him. He seemed like a good geezer. Having had Blinkist app thrown at me for about 6 months and never knew what it was, I found out the other day they summarize books into 15-minute summaries. So you don't have to read the fucking book. You just get their audio. I've even got to turn it down because that literally will wake up all the neighbours and my missus will get it in the ear. I'll go, "No, I didn't even do a YouTube yesterday." And then she'll find my channel and go, "What? That? You mean that one? That one that I'm now saying this about?"
Who is that bloke who comes on and just sits there?
Yeah. So that, I think, you know, I think our IQ's peaked around 1890. I think that's right. And it's slowly been going down since. And although more books are being written than ever, with apps like Blinkist, you know, I read 4 books a day. No, you don't. You listen to 15 minutes of summaries. And that, you know, people spend a lot of time and effort and research writing a book. And it's at the moment they don't do fiction. So that's even weirder. You know, imagine something like A Brief History of Time, Stephen Hawking's, in 15 minutes. Well, there's these things called black holes, and well, they've got more density, and so they implode upon themselves. You know, but the thing is, it's the trick that the person who bought that summary, they're walking around, it's like fake knowledge. They walk around thinking, "Oh, I know what this is, I know what that is." And what defines knowledge is expertise. You know, the age of the expert is almost over. People aren't given enough time and space, weirdly, metaphorically, to actually study their subject. I looked at the New York Times best 10 books of 2024, and all the literary fiction was identity politics in one way or another. You know, some more subtle than others, but it you know, it's like. So I can tell you for a fact, Mousecat, that most of Meta's research is still going into the virtual reality headsets. I don't think there's a lot of money in books. So what would probably happen is I'll bring you on, Mega Essex Boy. I'll just finish it. He's had his Barnet done. He looks like fucking Ragnar Ironspear. He's a Viking. Look at him. Look at him. I want him in my gang. Come on, you take me. You take him as well. Hang on. And so what I think will happen, Mousecat, is the technology will be developed for gaming or for business. And then if you can somehow get literature in it, they will, but it won't be developed for that. That would be my guess. Nice one. Anglo dropped a Lady Godiva, and for the nail a table to the ceiling fund, which is great. Good call. Kim Larson wants to know if there'll be less or more spiders in the country. There's more dead ones in Phnom Penh because they eat them. But oh no, there's tarantulas in the provinces without a doubt. Almac, Chris, do you still think Dame Keir has gone far right? No. I think they just picked on that one thing because they've got nothing else, you know. Any other party's going to beat them at the next election, apart from the Tories. Nice one out. And John Fuse, as ever, silent but violent, loud but proud, fighting on the stream, unfarting but farting. John Fuse drops 2. Nice one. Now, let's have a good look at that Barnet. It's incredible. You look amazing. Oh, your mic's off or you're muted.
I want to see the rest of the clip again as well.
Is that better?
Go on. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Did you you walked into the barbers and you went, do me a European?
No, the missus is a not a hairdresser. She's just a bit handy with the clippers. And I was looking for a new haircut because my mum likes me with a bit of hair, but I've always had it shaved like forever. So I thought I'd give her a little bit of hair. So I've styled it on the ginger-haired brother in Peaky Blinders. Arthur, is it?
Yep. I know exactly who you mean. Let's find him. How long did you spend looking through style magazines and sort of going, what do you reckon on that one, love? Or was it like a 5-minute affair? Because
no, pretty much I wanted a head. Where else am I going to go with it? Really, you know, I'm receding. I've got to cover my little my receding spots, haven't I?
I've been doing the same thing for about 15, 20 years. But it's lovely when you get to that bit where you don't care. For some reason, your mic. Say something.
Hello.
I think for some reason, StreamYard's giving me and Pack a dominance. If you're talking and I interrupt you like I always do, you seem to mute. So I'll keep quiet. It looks amazing. If all the blokes in England cut their hair like that, it would be a statement. And that's what I was talking about at the beginning of this stream, the difference between messaging and signaling. It would be giving a signal that some kind of cohesive aesthetic of the people we are. Not,
One
of my friends saw it and immediately they said, oh, you've got an English gangster cut. It wasn't, but yeah, you know, like.
So how are you getting on? Is it morning there?
Yeah, it's about 8:30 in the morning.
And have you got your morning bifter? You're just putting that together? Yeah,
it's together. Yeah, got me coffee. I haven't been on for a while, so I thought I'd better come and say hello.
Well, it's a pleasure to see you.
Less than a cup of coffee and a bifter. Don't do it.
That's right. That's how every day starts, isn't it? I thought everybody did it.
I really miss it. I know I sort of take the piss out of Stay Highs, but it was a great period of my life, actually. I had, there was a biff in the ashtray from the night before that I didn't finish, and that would be my first breath almost in the morning. And if you can manage that with your life, I kind of really love weed, actually. It's a weird thing that I don't admit. But
Yeah.
I definitely will get back into it when I'm an old man. I can see that out in the provinces, you're allowed to grow a few plants out here. They don't give a shit as long as it's not a commercial operation.
You'll be sitting on your deck in, won't you, with a little bifter in your mouth each morning, watching the sun come up and the grandma's buffalo roaming the fields.
You're having a porch, aren't you?
Oh, without a doubt, with a couple of those, they all have those. What are they called?
Well, swing
Buffalo.
seats.
Oh, hammock.
Hammock.
Oh, hammock.
Yeah, everyone in the province has hammocks. A rocking chair.
Oh, go on, be the only fucker in the outback with a rocking chair.
With a smoking jacket, like the proper Englishman abroad.
Yeah, do it.
Copy of the Telegraph under my arm.
You need one of those really flash dressing gowns that you showed us, like the gentleman's dressing gowns. I've been looking at them, but they're a lot of money.
Yeah, they're about 6 bags of sand, aren't they? It's like, oh, I didn't. Yeah, who's that? New and Lingwood. Let's have a look at some. New and Lingwood.
Get me a polyester Temu version.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you something semi-interesting about Temu. They are losing millions daily. Like, their business model is just to sell everything for as cheap as they can. They will lose hundreds of millions. I can't remember exactly, so I'm being a bit vague about it. Just to establish themselves, because they're competing with Amazon, but their biggest competitor is AliExpress. Once they're established, all the prices are going to go up a bit. But at the moment, get in there.
Their marketing's pretty good though, because their jingle lives forever in my head. You know the one I mean? Shop like a billionaire, shop like a billionaire. Timu, Timu.
You know what? It's fun. I've never heard it because we're having to totally re-strategize our business model because of the mega markets, your Amazons, AliExpress, and Temu, and there's a few others. There's Lazda in Asia, and products I used to sell for 40 quid, you can get on Temu and AliExpress for like $2.50, and you can't compete with that. So every time I see Temu, I click on it, so it costs them a bit of ad revenue, but I don't watch it. But today I saw that shop like a millionaire, and I thought that's a great tagline. That tells you everything, because and that's aimed at women. I'd say that's aimed at women.
I don't see any adverts.
You don't see Temu adverts.
Have you got ad-free YouTube, Packer?
I might have.
There you go.
Giving it a big and about having premium. I might have. I put my VPN on my
computer guy.
Go on.
I bought this laptop off a computer guy. So that's what I'm going to tell you. So I ain't got to worry. I ain't seen a Temu advert ever.
You got special.
I don't watch BBC. I don't watch television, and I don't. So I don't see adverts.
No, that's good. Yeah, we don't do TV anyway. But talking of houses, Chris, can I just hang
on?
Go on.
Yes, but before I want to go back to what you said originally, because I'd like to know which one. Let me see if I can change the. Can you see that?
Okay,
They are absolutely gorgeous, so I can see me in that all day long.
I want the gold and black on the left.
But when you get up close, Packer, look at that. That's Paisley. If I change
I want a deep red and gold Paisley. That's what I'd be looking for, like a classic.
Yeah, no? Yeah, likewise. But if I change my country, it should change the currency. No, I want to. Oh, you bastard! It's changed what I was looking at now. Don't want velvet jackets. I want dressing gowns. I mean, you've got lined ones. That's a nice one. That's the one you like, is it, Packer? That gold and black affair?
Yeah, I thought we were going to be looking at smoking jackets. Yeah, I was black and gold.
Packer, you've gone very, very, very quiet now. I can barely hear you.
Oh, I don't know what's happened. I'll go back and...
What about this one, Essex boy? Is this a bit of you? Bit of burgundy and paisley, lined.
Yeah, a little bit more red. I don't like the blue in it. I'd like a sort of classic red and gold, a real, like pub carpet type scenario.
This one's only £2,750.
What a snip!
Oh,
maybe get a couple, for when one's in the wash. Hang on. I might be coming round to. I think that's my one. How much do they want for that one? Hang on, they've got all different ones. Here we go. What about that red and blue peacocks? You want the black? I'm thinking you want the black lapels, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's quite nice. So it's got peacocks on it. It makes me feel like I've just discovered the Orient.
I am black.
Go on, say it again. Mega Essex boy, say it again.
That one's a little bit feminine, I think.
Yeah, but peacocks, isn't it? Is it the male? It's the male that does the spread, though, isn't it? Yeah. But I suppose it could be seen to be a tad feminine. I'd like my missus to wake up and put my dressing gown on. That's quite a sexy look, though. My missus will sometimes put one of my white shirts on, and it goes down to her knees. And
my little boy always nicks the missus's dressing gown, and it doesn't go down very well. Every morning she's like, "Where's my dressing gown?" And they're so covered up like a duvet in it.
I'm just so impressed that you went for and succeeded with Mrs.'s. That was incredible. Come on, that's got to be yours, isn't it? That's yours.
You're coming, getting in the right ballpark there, Sunshine. Yeah.
100% silk outer, 62% silk, 38% wool, quilted lapel. And you can have one of them. That's 2,750 as well. But I know what one you want. You want the classic look. I'll see if I can. Oh, that's nice as well, though. Look at that.
What's that fucking? What was that second picture? Geezer looked like he was in a Parker jacket.
Look at that, though. Look at that one. Right, let's go. What's the second picture? I missed that one. I think that's nice. I like that. Yeah, that's awful. It's a Chatsworth, isn't it? It's a classic, but not for nearly 1,000. You can poke it. Anyway, that's where I got my cravats from New in Lingwood, and they weren't £2,500. But 15 years later, I'm still wearing them. Anglo dropped another £5 in for the water buffalo and getting a grow on. Oh yeah. I just see what I get it. Yeah. You can, because they cook with it out here. I mean, I don't know what a commercial operation would be. Hopefully, I'll be all right with my 4 acres. Nice one, Anglo. I'll get it in that fund. Go on, Mega Essex boy. How's it?
Well, quickly, we'll get on to that. We'll go back to something you were saying. I forgot what I was going to say. No, houses. That's right. You were thinking about building a drum, weren't you, out in the province? I've just built a house. Right. It's taken me 4 years. It's taken every last bit of money, pain, effort, energy, enthusiasm. And I'm in the trades as well. And if I had my time again, I think I'd have left a lot of that money in a bank, and bought a prefabs, get them to build the house in a factory, stick it on a truck, you have your poles all set up, and the truck comes along and fucking lifts it on your poles, and you ain't got to worry about nothing. You've got quality control in the factory, everything's checked before it's coming out, you've got all in one place. It brings the cost down massively, and you won't have any of the ball ache. I was looking into it, and there's a particular company in Cambodia called Cambod, or something along those lines, and they make, manufacture, and they'll deliver them anywhere in Cambodia. Have a look into that. I think it will save you a lot of grief and a lot of time as well.
You know what? I appreciate that, because on the Cambodia Expats Forum, almost to a man, everyone who they bought land and built a house, everyone said if they could go back, they'd have done it. They wouldn't have done that, basically. You know, they'd have done something like what you said. And they said, not only have you got all the hassle that you've experienced and you're in the trade, but they said Cambodian workers, they'll just not turn up one day, or two of them won't, and you need the full,
Yeah, and the big problem is with that, when one person doesn't turn up, it impacts the whole time frame. Right, because if you're laying a concrete slab and they're like fucking mouse cats ready to pour on Wednesday, and the plumber was supposed to be in Monday to do all your under slab plumbing, and he doesn't turn up, and mouse cat's got another job booked in for Friday and Saturday, and the plumber ain't getting there till the following Monday, that means it hasn't just affected the plumber. Then you've got the floor polisher that's been pushed on as well, and then you've got the first stage framing that's been pushed on as well. So every little fucker that doesn't turn up, you've got 10 phone calls to make to push everybody forward, and then their diaries don't match your diary anymore, and the whole thing is shit, bro.
And that's if you can get that phone call in before they've arrived, while you're waiting for that other fella. And then when he doesn't arrive, and if they can't work because they haven't got a bloke they need to talk to because they need information off him, you've still got to pay them because they've given that day to you in their diary. Yeah,
that's right.
The girlfriend has got a bit more of a romantic view about it. I had a look at some prefabs in Finland, like beautiful wooden houses, and they said they'll ship them anywhere. I haven't got that kind of money, but it gave me an idea that.
Well, there's prefabricated and there's fully complete. Don't even go down to prefabricate, because then it's going to be prefabricated walls and bits and pieces. It's going to come up like a big kit set, right? And that kit set needs to be built. You want your house to come out of the factory complete, fucking craned onto the back of a big truck, sent to yours, lifted off, put on, literally connect up your subfloor plumbing and your power, and you're done.
So it's got all the electrics done.
All the internal plumbing, all the linings, all the painting, all the kitchens done, the bathrooms fitted out, the whole lot. It's just plonks on your poles. Avoid kit set, because you've got to get labour involved again. And if you've you know that language barrier, just a word of advice. We'll do whatever you fancy.
I've already said to her, look, yes, it would be lovely to build our dream house. I said, but one, we ain't got the money for it. And two, it's hassle. It's endless hassle. Like, she's built an house for her mum and her grandmother, and a few of the family also stay there. But it's like, it's like corrugated sheets, and they're stuck in the ground. It's got tiled floors and that, but it's very basic. It's not the place I want to live out my days in. It's one floor. I'm not living on the ground floor in the provinces. Not a chance in hell.
I see you're a little bit on the old corrugated iron, and you don't like the pink fiberglass bats either. Now, I wouldn't completely poo-poo them, because the corrugated sheets, if or when they do go a bit rusty, it's like 6 screws and you're replacing your cladding. Yeah, if you've got a cladding system that's got a problem and it's all plastered in with all proper poly insulation, that's big reworks if you get a leak or somebody hasn't done their job right and all of that kind of stuff. And also, in regards to insulation, pink bats, when you look at what they call the R rating, which is in reference to their thermal properties, all different grades, and they really actually stand up. They're not very nice to work with or put in, but once again, if you're going down the prefab route, you ain't got to worry about that. It's in the walls. You're never going to see it. You're never going to breathe it. You're never going to feel it, because otherwise, what you're going to use a spray. Nah.
This might sound a bit ignorant, but do you need that in Cambodia? Do you need it in a hot climate as well? Is that a thing?
100%. Insulation does the same job for whether it's hot or cold. If it's a hot day, it's going to keep your house cool. If it's a cold day, it's going to keep your house warmer. Think about a refrigerator. Refrigerators and freezers, they've all got refrigerated insulated panels all the way around them. Well, why is that?
Yeah.
Inside cold, it's to stop the heat from getting in.
I've got a mate. He's an architect. He went to the Architects Academy. It's like the best school in the world. In about 8 years, he's making an absolute mint. I mean, he comes from money. He's virtually aristocracy. His old man owns half of Cambridgeshire. And he said to me, he said, "I'll design your house for nothing." And I was like, "Wow, that lovely." And so I sent him some ideas, and I was thinking like the old modernist, like glass block, He said to me, he said that what you've designed there is an oven. He said, "Can you imagine how hot that's going to be with all those glass panels around the side?" He said, and it was quite interesting. He said, "If I were you, look," and fair play to him, he sent me a lot of pictures, but he said, "Look at traditional Cambodian houses, because they've learnt that over thousands of years. And they've all got roofs that are slightly curved and like that. And the walls, I mean, I don't know enough about building to call them what they are, but they don't join."
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So you got a airflow.
So the heat goes up and then gets out of the building, yeah.
Yeah. And you know what else comes up, don't you? The snakes.
Massive geckos, yeah. No, they do. They do, though. I've been in there. You sit there and you hear it. It goes, "Doctor," and it's like, oh, fuck. And like, but when you see like 4 or 5-year-old kids all giggling and laughing, you think, come on, you've got to show a bit of balls here.
The other thing, if you want to save a bit of money, think about the old Roman air conditioning. Yeah, one window open on the positive side of the house and one on the negative side. So you want to think about how your house is placed on the land. Yeah, with the dominant wind directions and where you want to be sitting, and do you want to be hit by that wind, and all of that kind of stuff. It's not just about the view.
That's kind of interesting, actually, because when I think of the provinces, although all the houses, I'm thinking of it now, although they seem to be all quite random, the main kind of living area, which is external, because people spend most of their day outside, it's got a roof on it, but there's no walls really, there's like posts. They're all pretty much facing the same way. When I picture it in my head, okay. I mean, this ain't going to be for a few years. We got plenty of time to think about it, but at the same time, the price of land over here is like.
It only goes one way, mate. The markets have shown that, just like the S&P, the property market tends to double every 10 years.
I think there's a collection of countries that is called the ASEAN, ASEAN. And it includes Malaysia and Singapore. I think definitely one of them. I think both of them. But Cambodia's in it, and Cambodia had the largest GDP last year out of all those countries. It's flying here.
Yep. Catch up.
Go on.
Catch up time.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be good for her though, because like she always said to me, she wanted land. She'd always say land. Let's buy some land years ago. And when she first was saying that, we could have got a plot big enough to build an house with about 10 meter between, house in the middle, 10 meters around it, easy, for about $5,000 in the provinces.
Yep.
Not anymore.
Yeah. I don't want to be the guy that's full of advice, but here's another bit.
No, I like it.
I went and bought 5 acres, yeah, and so lovely. You got a house sitting on 5 acres. You're like wicked, yeah. Got all the space, no fucking neighbours, You've got to look after that land. You've got all the fencing to do. You've got paddocks to do. If you want the land to look after itself and you want animals on it, you've got to feed those animals. You've got to get water to those animals. You've got to shelter the animals. Animals get out. They get ill. They get old. You're probably going to want to eat some of those animals. The whole thing has just got so legs. So just be careful what you wish for, because I know the kind of lifestyle that you like. And I think you like your computers, not time indoors, all of that business. You're not going to want to be down the back of the paddock birthing pigs and digging fence post holes and shit, are you?
No. I say that sort of thing because it's sort of like it sounds idyllic. My missus is pretty. I mean, when it comes to animals, we'll have a few chickens and a cockerel because my missus knows all that. She grew up with all that, and I've seen her deal with that. That'll probably be it. What tends to happen is a province is only made up of, well, a province is huge, but the little villages on them, there's only about 30 properties on them, and you've got to go 30 miles to find the next one. There's a few in the odd one house here and there. But the province will have a couple of cows that the whole province own. And then they'll be used for milk, and there'll be an expert who knows how to deal with all that. And then when it comes to butchering it, that's taken to a butcher. No one's... There is the odd province where there is a butcher there who's been doing it for God knows how long. But when I see Dawn Browning, she's got the dream sort of small holding with the goats and the sheep and all the plants and food, but it does look like a lot of work. And I want to be right.
Looks like Master Ben did most of the building work. Good lad, eh?
Yeah, Master Ben. But the girlfriend's good with growing, and also, I mean, on our balcony out here, we've got about 10 aloe vera. She's growing spring onions. We've got chilies. We've got tomatoes. And in Cambodia, a lot of that you can grow all year round because it's the same all year round. Apart from if it can't deal with rain, because monsoon season can be problematic, but you can put a little fucking roof over it. And out in the provinces, loads of fruit grows, pineapples, bananas, like easy as well. You don't have to be a gardener like the pro. But going back to what you said about looking after that land, one of her cousins, one of the many millions of them, she wanted to show me a bit of land that the couple that owned it, they were old and they wanted a quick sale. And it was really cheap. I didn't have the money, but it was really cheap and it was huge. And when she walked us onto the land, she said, right, and I can't remember exactly, I'm guessing, but it was something like 20 meters wide and about, I don't know, 60, 70 long. And straight away, I just said, it's too big. I said that, it was already overgrown. And I said to my missus, I said, who's going to cut all those trees and plants and all that? It took me about 5 days once to pull a tree up, and it was only like a little silver birch. I said, and she's like, oh, you can get gardeners. I said, you'll be hiring a team of gardeners. I don't. So, yeah, you're right.
Could consider, if you want land, is like a native bush block. Yeah, so a native bush block will generally look after itself. Yeah, it's not like doing paddocks and fencing. It's a block of fucking forest and trees, and you just let it do its thing, and then cut yourself a little square lawn out the back, and you look at your big patch of trees or your mountain view or something. Get something that's got the ability to look after itself.
What, using sort of its natural sort of balance, nature's balance. The problem with that is that's where you get your spiders and your snakes and all that lark. And I can see a van turning up one day with a load of roller turfs. I'm just going to put them down. I'll get a little white picket fence around it, a little bit of England it'll be in the middle of the provinces with a smoking jacket on.
Nice lawnmower out on a Sunday morning, putting the stripes in your lawn,
The old fly-mo. As I said to the missus, because of financial restraints, I said, love, look, we build a very basic property or buy a basic property and then just glue onto it like not building, but getting other people, like you say, you can just come along and stick a room on and stick a bit on here.
Right, I've said enough on here, Chris. Well, one last thing. You're buy a coffee.
That's an amazing comment. I've said enough on here. One more thing.
That
Now
QR
I'm gonna
code
overdo it.
he points to. I can't see it on my YouTube screen. He's pointing down in the bottom corner, and I can't see a thing. It used to be in the top corner. Ever since you've moved, and you said it was in the bottom corner, can't see it.
I think it's something to do with. Right, hang on. Right, let me turn. It's a damn shame, actually, because that's quite good fun. Well, I've got two. Why can't I delete any of these? I want to delete one, but just not that one. Right, let's go there. And I don't. I'll have to have a look at it later. But some people can see it, can't they? I don't know. All right, mate. Listen, you're looking great. Thanks for the advice. I'm kind of I was going that way anyway, but it's a cracking haircut, man. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, you're looking good.
Just for that.
Let's give Mega Essex boys some love in the chat, people. Look after yourself and your family, mate. Take care. Ta-da.
Cheers, mate.
Doesn't he look good, Packer? Doesn't he look good? Man, do you not?
Yeah, him and Otto should be poster boys for us.
What's that?
Him and Otto should be the poster boys for us.
There you go. Get them in a couple of those nice. I can't even remember what they're fucking called now. What are they called?
I don't know.
Do you know how you say that in Khmer? Atang Day. Atang Day.
Atang Day.
Yeah. Or you can say Atang Pong. And that.
Pong?
Yeah, Atang Pong means, not only does it mean I don't know, but it means why the fuck are you asking me? That's a slight.
I'm going to use that at work on Monday.
Yeah. But if you should go with the Atang dung as in cow dung. So at easy. Dung as in cow dung. Day. But it's like, imagine a TDE. Day.
Atang Day.
Dung day, yeah. But you just go Atang Day. But then
Day.
one day when day. Tongue behind the top teeth. Day. But when you drop in an Atang Pong, and you have to give it a bit of aggro, Atang Pong. Then you hear all the girls say it as well, Atang Pong. And as soon as you get an Atang Pong off a bird, it's like, yeah, all right, I get the idea. It was good to see him. Right, here we go. Let's get this. It's 3:00 in the morning here, people. Thanks to everyone who donated. I went through those. Apologies if you feel I scooted over them. Right, hang on. Edit. Right, presets. What the hell is going on? Hey? I know I really shouldn't be doing this here. What's this about?
Oh, that's nice.
Someone's looking at us through binoculars. Let's try this one for a bit of class. Oh, same. We'll just stick with that. I'll have to have a look at that. There we go. We've got little round bits around our names now. Okay. I really do not know. Oh, look. Have you noticed the rounded corners at the... Anyway. Lord knows how to get that. I'll do it another time. I'm getting lost in mute. Oh, here we go. There you go. He's back. Packer, look at that. Just above your head.
Oh.
There you go, people. That's the buy me a coffee. That's the one you can put your thing over. But tell me, people, if there's two now, maybe there's one at the top, one at the bottom now. I am a grifter, but that's one too many. Michael Pagan, hello Pags. He says you're so special. Radiohead. There you go. Hello Ludwig, Mini Vartage. I reckon I'm well late here. Neuralink will download. I think he's referring. I think a few sights and sounds. Did you get your video response? A few sites. Thanks for testing that out. I should really get that up on the screen in case anyone is using it. I'll check entropy. Entry would appear to be. I do like my new thumbnails. Right, who's going to join us? I'll put the link in the chat. You can come on. Oh, can you see the messages, Packer? They've got little. They're in bubbles now.
All right, yeah.
There's the link
Very
again.
nice.
So, Al, I think I sort of rushed over that one. No, I just think that, you know, the Labour government are what was left. You know, we're a culture of what remains, like our television, for instance, like our cinema, like our popular music. It's not what people chose, it's what's left when everything that might offend or upset or is politically incorrect in the you know the original meaning of that is it's the incorrect politics. It's what's left. And you know, Labour Party are like that. They're just what's left after all the other ones have fucked up too much. And the next election, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a couple of million people turn out to vote, unless Reform or what's the other one, Homeland, get off their asses and actually start saying some things. Because with Trump at the moment, you know, the wind's blowing in the right direction. But anyway, thank you, Mousecat. Thank you, Anglo. Thank you, John Palmer, Kim Larson, Almac.
Chuck the link in, Chris. R-Power wants the link.
Yeah, it's in there right now, Pizzle. Pizzle's back. Pizzle's back. I wonder what Pizzle's going to say.
I ain't seen him for a while.
Yeah, he was in the last stream, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he's a lot more, well, a lot less prolific.
In the chat.
Yeah.
Here he is. Hello, Litland, you all right? Mate, that top button done up is not a look. You'll regret that.
You ain't got your top button done up. Come on.
Hiya, mate.
You all right? You look like you've just had a pipe.
I don't do that. I wonder why that is.
Your eyes are... Oh, you're not smoking rocks.
No. I've just had a few guzzles of cause.
Cause?
I don't know what's happening. I can't hear you at all. It's really quiet. I don't know what that is.
Is everyone else? That's just you, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's something to do with me. My volume's up. I don't know what's going on there.
We can hear you fine.
Yeah, I can hear you, but you're really, really quiet. I don't know.
What about if I get up really close?
I'm dog sitting at my parents'. We got a new dog. Do you want to meet him? Bowie.
Yeah.
Bowie.
Yes.
Bowie. Come on. It's a beautiful dog. Bowie.
Pizzle.
He farts
So
a lot. He's just farted.
You've still got both parents, have you?
Yeah. Hang on a minute. I've just spotted some earphones of my dad's. I'll put these on. I bet that'll work. 1 second.
I hope they're from 1974, like big chunky things with like a 5mm wide cable, like with the curls on it. Michael Pagan says friction novels have no imagination. Let's have a look at your cans.
That's better.
There you go.
Better. Yeah, they're not minding my dad, but you know. So yeah, how's he going? What?
You get on with your parents, all right? Do you, Pizzle?
Oh yeah, Jesus, I'd be dead if I didn't have them. Is he fucking gone? Oh, he's got his cage.
How have they dealt with some of your struggles in life?
Oh, you know. Well, they've stood by me. Do you know what I mean? They could have abandoned me, which they didn't. You know, that's down to my mum. I think my dad would have taken a different approach, but you know, my mum's the boss, so
You know, you said something to me once that made me rethink something very significant, because a rehab centre told my mother once that she should chuck me out. They said to her, "Look how handsome. Do that. Look to the side again."
Oh, piss off.
Now go on. What a lovely look at that profile he's got there, old Pizzle's profile.
I've just got I've got my mum's laptop going as well, and I'm watching the view count go down.
No, you ain't. It isn't. This rehab told my mum, they said, chuck him out, because you feeding him, you scoring for him, you washing his clothes, giving him food and shelter, he's got no reason to give up. And my poor mother was just sitting there with not knowing, and I couldn't believe it. They said to her, they went, he doesn't love you. If he loved you, he wouldn't be putting you through all this. And like, we come out of there like two working class dullards, thinking neither of us knew. It was really damaging to our relationship.
Yeah,
because they just put it on my mum. This is on you, because you haven't chucked him out onto the streets. He keeps using. And I mentioned it on a stream once, and I said, you know, and because in fairness, she did get something out of it, but that I think that was unconscious. And it was her looking after me that allowed me to set up my business while I was using, make some money, and get myself to a decent rehab that wasn't an NHS rehab.
Yeah,
where would you have been without that safety net? If your mum hadn't have done her job, because that's what it is.
I rocked up back to my mother's house at least 15, 20 times over the years with like warrants out for me, gangsters after me, and she's straight in, come in, have a bath, and like she dealt with it, you know, and some of the things she's seen, and I would like to think friends would have helped me, but you'll be surprised how quickly you burn those bridges when your mate says, come on, you can stay at my house for a couple of weeks, and they're like 500 quid down after 2 days because you've just robbed them. I had a bloke let me stay in his restaurant. He said, you know, I'll put you a little Z bed. No, what was it? I can't remember what they're called. Like one of those things you put around a swimming pool, not as nice as a futon. But he just let me, he said, you can't come in the main house with my wife and kids. He said, but you can sleep in the restaurant. And I emptied his till and fucked off. You know, even when I was doing it, I was thinking, this is bullshit. But I thought, you know, there's got the float's about 80 quid. So yeah, I'd like to think my friends would have looked after me, but I knew all the Soho street junkies, and I know you look at them and they're all like wizened and like all dirty clothes and they look like a different species. But when you actually get talking to them, of course, they're just normal people. And like, there was this one fella, and I said, how did you end up here? And he said, I was a mechanic. He said, and they were training me up to be the manager of that area. And he said, I got married to this bird, and who we'd been together for a few years. He went, and then she dumped me, he said, and I just started drinking. He said, then I started hanging around with the drinkers in the park, you know, the day drinkers who just sit in every park in every town's got a 5 or 6, got like a little huddle of drinkers. And he said, and one of them one day just said, here, have some of this. And he said, 3 years later, here I am. And, you know, he'd been he didn't go to uni, but he'd done like a trade course so that he could do his mechanic. He was, you know, he was earning good money. He had a nice house, everything.
Well, what got me into gear, I think I've sort of mentioned it before. I'm not a talker at all. I'm really, really shy. I'm not a talker. I was in my mate's bedroom, and he was a posh lad. He was like a university lad. He'd come back home. He was stopping at his mum's. He was chilling in his room, and he pulled some gear out. You know, I was like, well, you know, a few lines of it, you know.
How old were you? Pizzle, how old were you?
19.
Okay.
So yeah, I was jacking up in the toilet, obviously. But then it was like, oh, this is lovely. This is so lovely. But then I walked home and I bumped into this bird, like one of the hottest in the area. And I was chatting her up, making her laugh. It was just fucking brilliant. She ended up, my girlfriend, and I had a kid with her and all that. But I never would have talked to her if it wouldn't have been for that gay. I just wouldn't have done. Not like that, anyway. I mean, I would have talked to her, but it'd have been, I knew it gave me sort of confidence in that. And
Pizzle, were you aware of that? Was that on the walk home from that first use?
yeah.
And you just sort of started chatting her up on the street, and were you
Yeah, well,
aware?
I knew her anyway. We sort of,
Right.
but it's just sort of like higher sort of basis. I didn't. She wasn't a friend or anything, but it was.
But were you aware? Were you aware that you were behaving differently because of that narcotic?
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's pretty much, not exactly, but pretty much every day since then, until I got clean. You know what I mean? But
I bet you thought you
You were
found the Holy
19.
Grail.
yeah, 25 years basically, more than 25 years. Say that again, Chris.
I bet you thought you'd found the Holy Grail when you got home. I bet you thought,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
At what time after that, or how many days, weeks, months, or years did you think this is a fucking mess? I've made a really bad decision here.
I had an awesome time for about 5 years. 5 years.
That's quite good going. 5 years, isn't it?
That was tooted for about 5 years. Once I got onto the jabbing, it went downhill quick.
Yeah.
So like 5 years tooting, 20 years jabbing, and it was basically hell.
And I bet you got on the spikes initially because of the financial considerations.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We've had this exact conversation before.
It's madness, though, isn't it? It's madness.
Yeah.
You can stop that just by making it legal.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, it wasn't just a little bit. It was a huge sort of £10 bag. I split it into like 3 in the last like 3 days. When I was on like 3 or 4 £10 bags a day. And at first, for a while, a £10 bag, I was stretching it out. I couldn't believe it.
And then about 3 months later, you're back to square one, but now you're on the spikes.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Yeah, it's awful, isn't it? So that's what happened with me then.
What was you don't? If anything you don't want to talk about, obviously just say I don't want to go there. But when do you remember when you came out to your parents, so to speak, or was it? Did they start asking questions?
Well, they busted me basically because I was still living there. And
you were living. You were 19 or early 20s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, this was like really early. I know I was probably no more than 20 because I think I was still working at Volvo. But anyway, my dad had been in my room or whatever, I don't know what for, and he'd seen like the set of drawers next to my bed, like 3 drawers, and the bottom drawer was full to the top of just balls of foil, crumpled up balls of foil. And he'd seen it, a few weeks or a month or 2 before, apparently, didn't know what it was. But then he'd seen something on TV about heroin addicts and foil and all that. And then sort of one day, they called me into the front room and they just came out and said, because my cousin was already a heroin addict and he was from a good family. So he just came out and said, are you using heroin? They would normally just say drugs or whatever, but he's used that word, are you using heroin? And I just straight up, I said, yeah. Which was true, but I can't remember what exactly I did, but I used it as an opportunity to get some money out of them. That's how bad that was. Yeah, because my dad said, "Right, what do you need? What do you need? We'll get on top of this now. What do you need now to get you through? to get you right or whatever. And I said, well,
If
you know,
you
like
can get me
200 quid.
20 bags, I can cut
Yeah.
down gradually. Yeah.
That's exactly it, Chris. Yeah. So I got
Done it.
200 quid off him.
2 days, 3 days, got some rocks with that as well.
No, I've never really been into to crack, to be honest. I mean, I did have a stint on it. We all do, but I've never really been into it that much, to be honest. Because it was, I
When I
like
played
the
that
gear
one,
too much. It was taking money away from gear. That was why I stopped it, because it was cutting into my gear money too much.
that's why I stopped smoking weed. It was cutting into my gear money.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I played that one off loads of friends and family. If you can just give me a monkey, I'll be able to get a weight in, so I'm not buying little fucking £10 joeys. All that, you know the story. And once my mum and my girlfriend's mum chipped in, give me 500 quid, because I explained how it would work. I said, I'll chop it all up. I had the proper jeweler's scales with a fucking, what is it called? I can't remember. But it was a little bubble in the water, spirit level, in the pans, because when you're measuring that sort of quantities. And I said, what I'll do is I'll do it for me and the missus, and we'll cut down gradually. And I'll say this now, I've never known anyone to get clean at home successfully using the tapering method. Never. No one. I do know people who've just cold turkeyed it. I've done that in Thailand. Anyway, so to give me this 500 quid, I went out, I think I bought about an eighth of smack, and I bought about an eighth of white. And my mum and my girlfriend didn't see me for about 4 days. I went up to Ladywood Cemetery and just spent 3 days in there leaning on a gravestone, doing it all in. And I knew that it would all go. I wasn't like, I'll just sit here and have a little bit and get home. I thought I'm doing all this. And then when it had all gone, I thought, right, now you've got to go home and face the worst music. Where have you been? My mum went fucking mad. She goes, it's not even the fucking drugs. I'm scared to death and you're dead somewhere. And I was like, yeah, but I'm not dead. Oh, we didn't fucking know that. And then after all that, it was like, well, have you got the drugs? And I was like, about that. Years of all that.
Oh, years of that. Years. Yeah. Like decades, not just years, decades of that stuff. Yeah. One time, my mum, I said to my mum, sort some money out, we'll get sort of straight. I was with this bird. She was a street hooker. It was fucking good being with her. But I was with her for about 8 years. I don't think I got out of bed for about 8 years. She'd just go out and come home every night with about 500 quid. But anyway.
Hang on. Did you just say she was a brass?
Yeah.
So she was earning plenty of money, and that was
lots of money. Yeah, loads of money, and she enjoyed the work as well. You know what I mean?
That came in handy, didn't it?
Oh, it did. Yeah. But this is really not funny, but it shows you about crack. For years, you know, more than 5 years, 5, 6, 7 years, she was coming home every night. You know, if she had 200 or 300 quid, that was a bad night. She was averaging 400 or 500 quid every night until she got into the crack, and then it went. She was coming home every night with 20 quid, 30 quid. You know, she was just blasting it all on the stone on the street, like with a hooker mate. So yeah. So anyway,
yeah, that stuff's proper darkness.
Yeah. So we wanted to get clean this one time. And I said to Mum, I got some money off and we've got some gear in and all like this and that. I said, right, lock us in the flat and we're going to do a rattle. We're going to rattle it out in the flat, lock us in. We was on the 4th floor. Lock us in. Come round every night, just check on us and we'll just rattle it out. Managed to get rattling. The second night, sheets tied together, out the fucking window. The mate came round, he fucking robbed some ladders from somewhere, he was up there. You know what I mean? It didn't fucking work. Just the sheets tied together, that's something you see on like films and shit. We did it. We made a rope out of sheets. Flying down.
Have you seen there's a film, I think it's Dutch or something, it's called H, very low budget film. It's not an amazing film, but they live in this sort of squat. They squat a basement and they decide to get clean, this couple. And it's a bit weird because they sort of don't withdraw. It's a bit of they miss something there. But I've noticed when there's two of you doing it, when one of you's sticking to it, you're like, no, I ain't getting any. I don't want it. The other one's going, oh fuck this, let's just get a bag, man. And then later it will switch, you know, and I think that's also an impossibility. Two people.
Well, yeah. When we got locked in the flat, there was two of us. I was rattling it out, but I was handling it. I mean, I was rattling it, so you know, it was awful. But she was a screaming banshee. You know, you've heard the term a screaming banshee. She was screaming. It was fucking awful.
I think women have a worse time of it physically.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
It's only I've got no research on that, but just what I've seen. They see, you know.
From what I see, what do you think about this, Chris? It's just from what I've sort of observed. I think females get more out of crack than guys as well. I don't know if you've sort of noticed that. I mean, guys love crack as well, obviously, they absolutely love it. But I just seem to notice it. Crack really affects birds more.
I couldn't keep Gail off it. I couldn't hide it. Every time I went out, she'd find you know, I went into 80, 90 grand's worth of debt, and it was because she just could not stop. Even when it was sending her so cuckoo, she'd pick up you know, when someone buzzes the downstairs, the flat number, and you pick up I don't know what it's called, but just the crackling on that, the intercom, she was hearing, she was going, listen, they're all outside. I was going, who? And she'd list everyone we'd knocked over the last sort of 5 years. She'd be going, those two Scousers, the landlord Terry, the landlord David, they're all outside. And I'd put it to my ear and I'd go, there's nothing there. And in the end, I could hear it. And so I've gone downstairs with it was a vegetable cleaver, but a big old blade, sweating like a crackhead. Yeah. And I thought, I'll just tell them all to fuck off because we can't live like this. I've opened the door, it's hotness, Tuesday morning, just loads of old people walking around, not a soul. And I thought, not surprising really that everyone from the last 5 years hasn't gathered outside our house. I was selling it as well, and this one bloke, he's come round and he knocked on the door and I've opened it, and he said, can you do us a few rocks? I said, I will do. I said, but listen, I said, don't shout up at my window at 4 o'clock in the morning again, or you'll never get anything off me again. He went, hey. I said, don't fuck me about, but that's ridiculous. He went, I've been on holiday for 4 weeks. He said, I only got off the plane an hour ago. And I was like, yeah, you fucking know it and all. What the fuck?
Yeah,
because I was convinced that happened.
I've seen crack affect people like that, make them super paranoid and that, but it never really did that to me.
But I think it's the lack of sleep more. So if you're not on it as a regular, you know, you don't sleep for days. You get the odd hour here and there, your body just fails.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, Chris. I had you know, a good couple of years when I was banging into the crack, but I always liked the gear more. So you usually see it as people switch over to the crack and they start spending more money on crack and leaving the gear behind. I liked the gear too much, so I thought I'd drop the crack out and stayed with the gear. Yeah.
Crack just makes you feel like shit, doesn't it? You get your good 2 minutes, but then you just feel like death.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
It starts making you all weird talking about crack, to be honest with you. I surprisingly survived that period. Anglo-Saxon has chipped in. Lighter fuel, mushrooms, resin, acid, MDMA, ketamine, amphetamine, cocaine was me. Never done crack or heroin.
That sounds about right.
Bit of
Can I
booze.
just clarify to everybody in the chat, just in case,
Thank
unlikely
you,
as it is,
Anglo.
but in case there's somebody that doesn't know, don't ever give a druggie the drugs or the money to buy the drugs and not think the first thing that person will do is take all the drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely. Anyway, can I change the subject, Chris?
You can. I'd like you to. I just want to thank Anglo for that. Fair play, mate. And you know what? I mean, I must admit, I'm not a fan of cocaine. I think it's a horrible drug. I don't like what it does to people's behaviour, but each to their own. And
Well, I was talking about it earlier on today. Talking about the thing that you said about it. You might as well have whiz. It's better and cheaper. You know, is that right? Well, I've never really had much powdered coke, to be honest.
yeah, I just think, I mean, coke, it's great on a spike. Right, change the subject like you were going to.
Right. I just wanted to show you me charity shop pickup from today. There's only two of them, but pretty good. I got these amazing Levi's 501s. They're practically like new. They fit me a dream. They're absolutely beautiful. 15 quid. Beautiful they are.
Hang on, we didn't see them. We just saw your arm.
Oh, right.
No. Nice. Yeah, they look virtually brand new.
Yeah. Oh, they're lovely and they fit me perfect. They're absolutely beautiful and they'll fade really nicely then. I was really pleased with them. Yeah.
Are they black or dark blue?
Dark blue. Yeah. Oh, I was lucky to get them.
You're holding them up against the light. Hold them the other side, and we'll be able to see them better.
I don't like black jeans. I don't like.
Well, these are blue. These aren't black. They're blue. Dark blue.
No, I know.
You should check out my Instagram. _DJ.
Hang on, you've got an Instagram.
Yeah.
You've got an Instagram.
Yeah. Why is that gay?
No, not at all. It's just interesting. I'm a bit worried about sharing my Instagram on the screen. Right, hang on. Let's see if we can find it. What is it? What's your handle? Is that what it's called?
Well, don't. Well, I thought you could show some better stuff. It's
no, I won't share it because people will see all the people I follow. Actually, this is my work account. We'll be all right.
Selloc _DJ. That's Selloc. That's SELOC. That's Coles backwards.
SELOC _
DJ.
DJ.
I'm not a DJ or anything. That's just my first two initials.
Is it? Oh yeah, it's got your sort of skull, sort of head avatar.
Yeah, same avatar as I use on.
Look at
YouTube.
you.
I mean, you know.
You do like a bit of denim.
Yeah, it's all mostly thrifted, all that stuff, though. You know, I just, it's my hobby. I like that kind of thing.
Have you got a Canadian tuxedo?
Oh yeah, I've got one on now.
Hang on. I've got Pizzle. I've got to share this Fred Perry cardi.
It's fucking awesome. That.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous.
Are you taking the piss, Chris?
No, I'm not at all.
All right.
Look at that. Lovely.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I love that. I'm sort of holding it in there because it's cut wrong for the sort of the times. It's a bit too baggy. I wish it was cut more fitted. You know what I mean?
It's still
I
a
do
nice
really
car,
like that though. Yeah, I do like that a lot. So there's the 501s I got, but this is the star of the show, and you got to keep an eye on your Instagram because I'll style this up really nice. You might think this is shit or whatever, but it's gonna look good. It's a black leather waistcoat.
Now that's well gay.
Oh, it's gonna look. I'll style this up, mandom as fuck. You keep an eye on that You keep an eye on
I'm
Instagram. I'll start that
gonna
up.
just.
Mandom. Telling you.
If you know, listen. If you've got the confidence and you reckon you can pull it off, but
I know I can pull it off, mate.
A leather waistcoat is suspect.
Nah, it's real, and that cost me. They're not going to like it. Look,
that
proper
cost
gay.
you your reputation.
I don't care. £10, £25 for the both. Listen, that is going to look wicked, as the blacks say. I don't know.
What are you going to wear it with? Nothing underneath.
Well,
pair of chaps.
I need some black leather boots, which I haven't got. I'm not
feeling it. Yeah, look, Floella even went in with the leather chaps as well.
It doesn't matter. I've not got any black leather boots, which I do need. So I'll pair it with a white t-shirt, rolled up sleeves, some black denim, and black Chuck Taylors, and it'll look the business. Even if that sounds gay, it'll look sweet.
I can't help but associate black leather waistcoats with either sort of big fat hairy bikers or skinny gay men.
Yeah, well the thing is, pedo style. Listen, Linda, come on. The thing is,
hello, darling.
In my head,
hello,
I don't care.
YMCA is playing, but they're singing RPOW.
That's good, that backer. Well done, mate. Yeah, but the thing is, I don't care. I like the stuff I wear and the stuff I buy, and I don't care about being called gay.
I'll tell you what.
No, listen, Pizzle. That's
you rock it, Al, and you come and show us.
Well, you keep an eye on my Instagram, and next couple of days it'll be on there.
I'm happy to.
Hello, Dawn. I didn't know you were here, love. And we were talking about.
Wait, I can't wait. Oh yeah, there's no houses for me. So yeah, that's what I wanted to show you, really, Chris. That's why I wanted to come on. I wanted to show you them. I didn't really want to talk about drugs.
I mean, look, I have been surprised before with people getting a garment. I'm like, I don't know about that, and I have been surprised. So I will keep an eye on it on your Insta. I've got it there.
I know
now.
you don't like the double denim and all that, do you, Chris? But
no, I don't like denim jackets.
Oh yeah, that's what we're wearing here now.
Spanish chicken has nailed it. Wear what you like and fuck everyone else off. Exactly that.
100%.
Feel good.
100% Spanish chicken. You've hit the nail on the old head there, right? I like it, Pizzle. Thanks, Emma. Emma Glass, thank you. So yeah.
Dawn says, do we send him a hard hat or a feather headdress? Sorry, Pizzle. That's just too
no,
good.
that's good. That's good. I appreciate
the real issue is, pal. The real problem is, right, is if I wore that leather waistcoat, I would look gay, and there is fuck all I could do about that, right? But you're gonna rock it.
It's all about your attitude.
That's the issue, and it's my fucking problem.
There you
I
go.
think if you've got the attitude for it, Packer, you could pull it off as well as anyone.
Oh, yeah, Anglo. Anglo is almost single-handedly supporting the grift tonight. It is 3:30 in the morning. There have been other donations, which are appreciated, of course. He says, Chris, please ask Pizzle about the mud floods. What have I missed here? Was this from another stream or something?
We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
You know how insane and silly it is. There's not even a point getting angry about it anymore. It's just silly.
Okay. Just keep it fine.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Nice one, Anglo.
It's paired up with, the flat Earth. It's about as serious as the flat Earth. You know what I mean? Silly.
You're not in. You don't believe in a flat Earth, do you?
No.
No,
Absolutely not.
I wouldn't imagine you would.
No, I'm 100% on the other side, as everybody is. I don't even think flat earthers believe it, because they don't. They just.
There's one of them, right? And I feel really sorry for him. And one of his videos, he was in his kitchen. You know what they're like? They've got like
I know,
a balloon.
and his wife.
That's it.
Chris from New York, Westchester County. Yeah.
And she says, "Are you still going on about all that bullshit?" And she said, "Oh, just put it away." And he looks so broken and dejected. It's like,
mate,
I
know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. It was punishing stuff.
Yeah, I do.
All right, Pizzle.
Oh yeah, okay, mate.
No.
Okay.
I thought you were done. Go on, you can continue.
No, I am done. I was just going to say is that I spend a lot of time in the, the in the flat Earth debate. Globe Earth versus flat Earth quote debate, because there is no debate. I watch them a lot.
I used to watch. What's his name? There's this bloke, Dan.
Sci-fi Dan.
But the problem is, there's not a lot to talk about. They sort of go around. There's only a few things they always say.
I do watch a bit of Simon Dan. I don't really like. It's a bit of a fucking.
No, it's unconvincing, isn't it? He's not very good at. But his channel absolutely blew up. I remember when he started.
Yeah, there was a few of them, Chris.
Blinder.
Oh, I don't like him. I don't like him. I used to be subscribed to him. He's a fucking prick. But anyway, there was a few of them. Peaky Blinder. He's a Welsh guy. But he always uses the term Karen, which I don't appreciate that.
Yeah, but just talk us through that. I used to be subscribed to him. He's a prick. Yeah. That's two ends of the scale there.
The term Karen. I know you know this, Chris. It's an anti-white term, isn't it?
What, carrot? I've never heard that. I don't know that.
You don't know what Karen is?
You've mentioned it before, Chris.
Is this the bloke who drunk his own piss?
No. When they call women, they call them Karens, don't they?
I thought you said carrot. Yeah, Karen is an anti-white slur, without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So I mentioned this to that Peaky Blinder, and he sent me a message. He replied calling me, I don't know, I can't even remember. But then he started using it even more, and it just pissed me off. So I don't like him.
Oi, Pizzle.
Yeah.
John Palmer says Pizzle is great with the male clobber. He looks the part in it all too. I sometimes wish I had the figure for it, and then I eat another cake.
Oh, he's a good lad, John. We like him.
He's great stuff, isn't he, old JP?
Yeah. He's the old Navy cake. Great stuff.
Thank you for that, John, that donation. Al says the Earth's pretty flat around the fence. Yeah, I suppose. Small sample size, though, Al. Who's the black geezer, English flat earther who used to drink his piss and he talks?
Oh, yeah. Dave. He's called Dave. Allegedly Dave, he's called.
That's it. That's exactly the fellow I'm talking about. I don't know how these. I mean, they really have. Who's the really smug, horrible bloke who's like at the he's like the top bloke in the.
Well, I don't know his name, but I know who you mean. He's always he loses his mind at people that say anything. He cuts them off, doesn't he, on the phone. Yeah, I can't quite think of his name, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Funny one, the old flat earth thing. I can't believe how much it took on. But talking of things that took on, the comedian Sam Hyde?
Yeah.
Do you know Sam Hyde? Totally off the wall, great stuff. Had a TV show, but deliberately fucked it up by being totally out there. Based as fuck as well. Well, there's a thing that all his fans do, and whenever there's like a shooting or something, they try and get local news programs to report it as him.
Do it. Yeah, they do it.
And they've done another one today. They've done another one. Yeah, they got another one.
You'd think they'd be onto it by now, wouldn't you?
I put exactly that underneath it on X. I put again. And it said, apparently the shooter has been identified as Samuel Hyde. And it's like, oh, really?
Christ. How are they journalists that they fall for that again? I mean, the first 7 or 8, 9, 10, 20 times maybe, but after this time, this many times, I don't fucking know.
I think what they do is if enough people ring up a local show and go, I just saw that little bit of footage that you showed. That bloke's name is Sam Hyde. And then another bloke rings, then a woman rings. And, over a day, they think, look, this bloke's been identified. This is news. We've got to put it out there.
Yeah.
And then Sam Hyde dresses up in the clothes of the suspect.
I bet he's lapping it up, isn't he? I bet he loves it. Of course he does. Yeah, of course he does. 100%.
I do like him. He's like an actual standalone. There's no one out there like Sam Hyde.
Yeah.
His TED Talk is incredible.
Yeah, I've seen what you've said about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely amazing. Right, hang on a minute. Dawn Browning's dropped in 20 Aussie dollars. Nice one, Dawn. She says, I was wearing jeans, matching denim jacket and blue faux crocodile boots when I met my master Ben. It's the way you carry an outfit that matters. Pizzle. You go, girl. Now, I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
Well, I'll take it as one. Thank God, I think.
Nice one, Dawn.
Crocodile boots though and jeans. Nice one, Dawn. I'm liking it.
Yeah.
I could accept that on a lady, perhaps, if I was in Middle America.
At the end of the day, it's like Spanish Chicken said, wear what makes you smile, isn't it? Wear what.
Absolutely.
Like.
What makes you feel good?
Yeah.
Can I just also add that I expect that she has been wearing the boots ever since that night.
Look at cracking up. Nice one, Dawn. Lovely to see you too. We were talking about your small holding, is that what you'd call it? And Mega Essex Boy suggested that Master Ben does most of the grafting. Gossip. Scrub gossip. I think it was meant in humour though. But he told me it was loads of work. Right, Pizzle, anything you want to leave us with?
No, I just appreciate you. I appreciate everybody. I'll leave it at that.
It's been a very interesting conversation about various different topics.
Yeah. All right.
And I will be looking out, or next, when you get that leather waistcoat sorted and photographed, I will keep an open mind.
Yeah, next couple of days. 100%. It'll be styled.
Show Pizzle some love in the chat, people. Look after yourself, Piz.
All right. Cheers, guys. Take it easy. Bye.
Packer, it's gone from our pal to Pizzle, and then I just went to Piz. I mean, couple more years, Lord knows.
This has been perfect.
Packer, what item of clothing have you actually worn in public and later on in life thought, oh man, I can't believe I actually, not including a haircut, because we've all done that. Have you ever worn something that years later you thought, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
I've got some terrible
I've still got it as well, actually.
Go on.
It's a black sheepskin bomber style jacket, World War II bomber style jacket, but it's a crop black. Yeah.
Well, hang on, with all the sort of woolen fur inside.
Yeah, it's a proper one. It was a lot of money, but it's a crop one.
So it's
for the pilot, so where you sat on your parachute. So it's a crop jacket. So the sleeves are longer than the jacket, and it was fashionable for about 30 seconds in about 1980 something.
And you caught the last 5 seconds of that. And you still got it.
It's got I've put badges on it. It's got Hard Rock Cafe badges and stuff on it. Do you want me to go and get it? Because I've actually still got the fucking thing.
You can go and get it. I can fill the time, I'm sure. You'll miss my horrible things, but there's a few I've got. All right. Packers cropped It doesn't sound too bad though. I don't know about the black though. I like the. Actually, I don't know. I really don't know. Thank you, people, for your support. That's very kind. I'm going to have to knock this on the head soon, though, because it's 3:45 in the morning, and I'm going to do some writing. Oi, that story, I Am Bum. I lost a load of subscribers, but I've made up triple since then. I'm starting to get my head around the notes. There's a notes function on Substack. And it's everything on Substack. They do this thing called writers' office hours, and it's Substack are trying to get people to monetize their accounts so that Substack earn money. I totally understand why they do it, but people don't want to monetize their accounts because they've got like 10 subscribers, and as soon as you put a paywall in, you're going to get less. So all these little things that Substack set up so that you do that sort of thing, people just use them to promote their channels. And I've worked out a little sort of, what do you call it, like a cheat code. And if you just call people out for people are seeming to quite like me saying, oh, that's an interesting story that you just made up to get more subscribers. And people are sort of quite into it. Packer, so if you couldn't find it or you've got it with you?
I've got it.
Stand up, put it on. Yeah.
Hey? You want to put it on?
Yeah.
I'm not going to let it sit.
Oh my God. I mean, you're right about that fashionable for 30 seconds. Looks like a nice coat, though. Hang on a minute, chat. What do we make of that, chat? I'm not seeing anything particularly bad about it.
No, it's a nice bit of coat. But it's just like, it ain't fashionable, is it?
Go on, put it on. Please.
Oh, yeah, I'm dying to. You know it.
When was the last time you wore it out?
I don't know. 1989, probably.
Look at this. Notice he hasn't binned it though, people. Look.
It cost me £250, Chris.
In the 80s?
Yeah, back when the year started with an 8.
How long did it take for you to think, hang on, this is not nice? I mean, I reckon it looks all right. What do you reckon, chat? JP likes it. It is quite Marlon Brando, but I don't think Brando's in Easy Rider, unless you're saying it's a bit of Brando and a bit of Easy Rider. Yeah. Oh, no, that side zip, I'm not feeling so much.
Yeah,
so how long until you thought, I can't wear this anymore?
I wore it for a year or so, I think.
No way. I think I've worn, I had dreadlocks. I think that's quite a high bar, but the birds loved them at the time. It was like 1986. Well,
I've got another one in Norway that I bought, and I got out and put it on the other week. And we went to Lincoln. I wore this leather jacket, and then on the way home in the truck, my missus fucking cut me dead. It was fucking hilarious. But hang on, I'll go and put it on because this is even funnier.
Who thought that Packer had a collection of bad coats? It's quite interesting. One of the worst things I ever wore was a Desert Storm military bulletproof. It had Kevlar lining, like waistcoat, with all the pockets and that. It was during my sulfate phase.
Well, hang on. So this is
that's quite a nice coat. What's wrong with that?
Yeah. I've got it out. Well, nothing. See, I've gone on the diet, right? And I've got it out the wardrobe and put it on because I ain't worn it for 20 years. It fucking fits. I'm feeling 20 years younger. I've gone into
a bit of a midlife crisis. Get the old leather jacket out.
We're driving home and my missus looks at me and she went, the 90s called. I went, what? She said, yeah.
They want their coat back.
She went, Gareth Gates wants his jacket back.
It's great stuff. It's great stuff.
How she didn't walk halfway home from Lincoln, I don't know.
That's great. I think
Gareth
it looks like
Gates wants his jacket back.
no, she's done very well there.
Yeah, so I'm never wearing that again.
Hang on, did you say the 90s called?
Yeah, I think that's what she said, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great opener, man. That's a great opener. I didn't think she was going to say an actual person. I thought just the 90s wanted their coat back.
Yeah, but Gareth Gates nailed it.
Yeah. So you're not wearing it again. Here, look, Packer's all over it. Florella wanted you to stand up. Rogue Trader said that Tom Hardy wore one. I think he's talking about the fighter pilot, the what are they called? Yeah, but Rogue Trader, Tom Hardy can wear anything. Well, probably, I don't know about a black leather waistcoat, but I reckon he'll get away with most things. Anglo-Saxon says, I used to wear imported pilot jackets from the USA, great jackets. There was a shop just off Covent Garden. It was a road between Covent Garden and the Strand. There was a shop called Flip. I know that Pizzle knows about it because we've talked about it before. But this is going back to about 1985. I was going there. And they used to sell all that Americana stuff. You could get like you know, I bought a majorettes like shirt with the stripe across it. You know, the drumming, the girls and with the sticks and all that. I wore that around Dartford for a while. But, you know, I was sort of like 13. It was just taking the piss. I was one of those stupid kids that, you know, people can't take the piss out of you when you're already taking the piss out yourself. But I remember C-17 jeans were fashionable. And they had little badges sewn on them, like randomly. And there was, you know, that motorbike?
Yeah.
And there was, yeah, but you can't hear a VAR. It's mad. But there was no way I could afford a pair of C-17 jeans, but I found a pair of green jeans in Flip for about $5. Flip also sold loads of badges, like old American stuff, like a blue triangle that said gas and, you know, oil, all that sort of stuff. So I bought a few of them, got my mother to sew them on these jeans. So they were like fake C-17s. But I was only about 14, 15, and I didn't know there was a difference between men's and women's jeans. And they fit me round the waist perfect. And the leg length, I had a little roll up anyway, because it was like the mid-80s. But I was like, these are fucking agony around the bollocks and all that. And it took about 5 weeks for a girl to say to me, she said, is there even room for a penis in those jeans you're wearing? And I said to her, I said, no. I said, it's agony. She said, they're women's jeans. And I was like, women's jeans? I worked in a jean shop about 6 months after that, but I didn't know that was a thing. But yeah, there's no, you know, what would we call it?
Because at that moment you became qualified to work in a jean shop.
There you go. Oh, yeah, but you say that. I remember I had a bloke come in once, like skinhead, like he had like homemade tattoos all over his hand. I think he had sulfate tattooed on his wrist. There was a few people in Dartford that had speed tattoos, really, really weird. That they obviously done on the stuff. Oh, this don't hurt. This will be great in the morning. Just waking up with sulfate spelt wrongly on the back of their hand. And he went, I'm looking for a pair of jeans. He went, what you got? And I was like, well, these are, you know, Levi's are your standard jeans of the time. Levi's 501s. We've got Levi's 701s. And he was like, I want something a bit tighter. They're a bit too baggy and all this. Anyway, in the end, this geezer, he was about 6'3", skinhead, you know, looked the part. He didn't have all skinhead clothes on, like he didn't have oxblood boots on or a Fred Perry or anything. He ended up buying a pair of Pepe. Remember Pepe? They used to get the little, what was it? Like a key ring with the Pepe key ring. Kids used to wear them at school and think they were cool. You got one of them free with it. But they were 3/4 length, tight, with the zips up the outside. And he's come out of the changing room with them on. He just looked like he had a pair of woman's jeans on. And he was like looking in the mirror. He was going, what do you make of these? And I said to the boss, I said, do I actually selling them? She went, yeah, you fucking right, you do. And so I've just gone back and went, yeah, I reckon they're all right. Are they comfortable? Are they? You want to try a size bigger? He went, nah. He said, any bigger and they're going to be all flapping about. And he sort of pulled the zip. You know what I'm talking about? Like tarts jeans in the 80s. A pair of them, pair of white stilettos, everything's great.
I'm from Essex, Chris.
What?
I'm from Essex.
Oh, I thought you said I'm Essex. Yeah. So you know the jeans, yeah. But Jesus, man. JP, who did like your coat, said it is very 80s. Wolf, he reckons you'll grow into that jacket.
Yeah. I was in that video of who was it? Teardrop Explodes. Do you remember that?
I know. I remember the band.
Reward. Teardrop Explodes. That video where they rock up in the jeeps.
I don't. I'm unfortunately, I don't.
I think that's where the idea came from. I bought that coat in Camden when Camden was like the place to go. That's how old it is.
Yeah. Up Camden Lock, Camden Market. We used to just steal stuff from Camden. Couldn't afford any of that stuff, but it was very easy to just nick. We used to nick vinyl and sell it to people. Dawn Browning wants a barber jacket. Oh, I tell you what, I had a lovely one. You know, it was a dead man's coat though. So I've gone round this geezer's house. You know, I think all the old classic barber, they're all wax jackets, aren't they? They're named after different areas. I think mine was, I can't remember. They're like, hang on. Let me, I don't want to get this wrong. I nearly said the Beacons. No, I didn't have a Beacons barber. Classic barber jackets. Because they were selling barber clothes. There was a barber shop, Barbour, in fucking Carnaby Street when I lived in Soho. But here we go. But this jacket I loved it. I had it for years. I mean, they do need a bit of looking after. They very quickly look homeless. The one I had, I'm looking for the names. The Beaufort is a classic. The Beedale, that isn't the one I had. Oh, that looks like the one I had. Beadnell, no, that's for women. Maybe it was a woman's one. That's why I give it to me. Oh, I can't remember, but they were named after places in England. And this geezer said, here, I've got an old barber jacket if you want it. And it was fucking lovely. And they live forever. You know, give them a waxing like once a year. You know, they've got that nice sort of Harrington jacket interior, massive pockets, lovely coats. And he gave it to me. This geezer gave it to me, and I've just put it straight on and wore it home, and I wore it all the time. Well, I say all the time until about a week later. And this geezer said, did Ollie give you that? I went, yeah. He went, he found that on a dead bloke. I went, what do you mean he found it on a dead bloke? Was he holding it? He went, no, he took it off him, and now it's yours. And it you know, it somewhat tainted the wearing of the jacket after that.
See, I ain't got a problem with that. I've had about 3 coats off dead blokes.
Yeah, but there's people who've died, like Spanish Chicken just said he left he's handed down a leather. I'm not saying Spanish Chicken's dead, sorry.
And
he handed down
in it.
Coat. Yeah, this geezer just dropped dead, and someone took his coat. Dawn Browning says that barber is the new symbol of the far right extreme and white supremacists. Dawn, were you on here earlier when Mega Essex Boy came in? If you weren't, when you get a minute, go back and find. He come on quite early. I think he was the first guest, wasn't he? I don't want to.
Yeah.
But he's had his hair done and it looks fucking great. And I tell you what, if all the Englishmen had their hair done like that and a nice barber jacket, I would have thought you'd had a bar. Oh, it's a bit hot out there though, isn't it? That's the difference. I'm seeing you in the garden, but Probably a bit hot for a barber jacket.
I'm still seeing her in blue crocodile boots.
Baz says, what is your favourite shoemaker, Dangerfield? And what type of leather decent shoes? If I could afford them, Baz, I'd get a pair of John Lobb fully bespoke shoes. But that's a couple of bags of sand. That's real big money. He'll make you a pair of shoes. He'll make the lasts. That's a wooden thing that's the same size as your feet, but both your feet are different. So they make them. Then he'll make a pair of shoes out of cheap leather so that you try them on and make sure they fit perfectly. And then once he's got all that sorted, that pair of shoes gets thrown away and he makes the actual pair. I think John Lobb now, you're probably looking at about $3 grand actually. So if I could afford it, I'd get a pair of John Lobb shoes. Because I can't, my favourite shoemaker is Crockett and Jones, without a doubt. They're off the rack, they're ready-made, but they're handmade, and they're Northampton. Northampton is the world centre of shoemaking, and there's obviously English shoemaking. And if you can get, I don't think they make them anymore. I've got a pair here somewhere. Crockett and Jones Cordovan boots. Cordovan's not quite leather. It's under the leather at the rear of a horse. It's there's a word for it. I can't remember. But if you want to buy a decent pair of shoes, get yourself down to London. Or if you go to Northampton, you can buy seconds, and they'll have a dear little scratch or a dear little scuff, and you'll save a pair of Crockett and Jones these days are going to set you back about £500-600, but they're going to last you for 20, 25, 30 years if you look after them. I've got a pair here that's 17 years old, and I can't feel I'm wearing them. They fit, they've grown around my feet over time. So yeah, if you want a decent pair of shoes, go to Jermyn Street, spelled Jerym or something like that, not German as in Germany, down in Piccadilly, and there's about 3 Crockett and Jones there. Another place worth looking down there is Foster and Son, but that's a step up. I gave my red Foster and Son boots to Barclay, but there you go. Pizzle just had a look at Essex Boy's haircut. Very cool. A disconnected undercut. Exactly that. Yeah, he looks great, doesn't he? Yeah, that's a mess out there. We mentioned it at the beginning of the stream, Al. I mean, it would appear they're not going to have an active government for about 7 months or something. No, not like that. It's sort of like this. It ain't that. That don't look right. Let me see. Let me get it right. Jermyn. There you go. Honey Monster got it. Oh, so did I. So did I. There you go. Yeah, it is. Toffee says, I'm currently wearing Fire Trap jeans. I've not heard of them. I worked in a jeans shop, but a long time ago. I've always been a fan of Fire Trap, but they've recently been sold to Sports Direct. Oh, that's not nice, is it? Oh, what an horrible shop Sports Direct is. It's just bins of clothes and everyone just, yeah. Not a fan. Colonel Custard said, Crockett and Jones have shops in other English cities. There's one in Birmingham. Yeah, I'm sure there are. I just obviously say London because that's where I know. But if you go to Northampton, if you actually go to, is it Northamptonshire? Or is it, no, it's Northampton. There's loads of shoemakers there. And you can go into them, not only Crockett and Jones, you can go into them and say, you got any seconds? And they'll sell them to you, and you'll get like 200, 250 quid off, because if they've got a little scuff, there's not something, the stitching's all good, the heel, everything's fine, but you can't sell a shoe that's got a little scuff on it to a shop. So they just, No one's going to see that. Baz says, I have Crockett and Jones Brogues in brown for 30 years. There you go. How many times have you had them resold, Baz? I suppose that's a silly question because we don't know how often you wear them. I'll tell you a shoemaker I really don't like that seems to be quite popular, and it's Churchill's. They got that really wide sole on them. Rollo's on the firm. We've seen your cowboy boots before.
Yeah, but look at the state of them though. Like a little scuff's going to matter.
Do you not give them any treatment?
Yeah, they get love. Yeah, they get love. But how long have I had them? I've had these 10 years.
That's all right, isn't it?
And these are my dailies. They're my dailies.
You wear them to work?
No, not the work, obviously, but whenever I'm not at work, these are my slippers. I ain't got any slippers.
You actually wear cowboy boots. That's your choice of footwear.
Yeah, I've got a pair of brogues that I've had longer than them. I've got a pair of brogues I've had way longer than them, probably 25, 30 years, that I wear if I put a suit on. And the cowboy boots. I've had 2 pairs of cowboy boots my entire adult life. That's my second pair.
Did you ever think you'd say that? When you say
I'm
brogue,
hoping I live to 3 pairs of cowboy boots.
your son will be saying that. They'll go, well, how old was your man when he died? They'll go 4 pairs of cowboy boots. Brogues is a type of shoe, though. It's not a brand, is it?
No.
When you say brogues, you probably mean an Oxford. Rollo lives in steel toe cap boots or wellies. Rollo, you were great stuff on here the other night. You were great stuff.
There you go. They need a polish.
Yeah, they're Oxfords. They're a, hang on. Whoa. Let's have a look. I want to have a look. Nice.
Right.
Nice. They need resoling, by the way.
Oh, no doubt.
And I'll tell you what, if you don't get them resold soon, that's going to go through, and then you're going to have to pay a fortune. You want to get a new sole on it before the old goes through into the middle layer.
Yeah, I can.
Nice
I only ever wear them when I've got a suit on. That's weddings and funerals.
Everyone needs a pair of black Oxfords. If you come out to Cambodia, you can get a pair handmade for 45 quid, $45, so about 38 quid.
I think I paid about 45 quid for them, but that's when 45 quid was a reasonable amount of money for a shoe. But that'd be like 100 plus today's money.
No, they're nice, man. You've got to have some black Oxfords. It's just standard. They go well with so many outfits, and weddings, funerals, christenings, all that lot. And you can wear them out. They don't go well with jeans, though. But you need brown shoes with jeans. It's always a risk. Did he go for black shoes and jeans? Did he? Yeah, do you remember that?
Terry Hill. Someone in the specials did, surely.
People, I'm going to call it a day because from nowhere it's 10 past 4 in the morning. And I just haven't got it in me, although it is Saturday tomorrow, which is beautiful. But I haven't got. Oh, right. That racks up. Packer, thanks for coming on, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure. We had some good guests. We had some cracking conversations. Thank you for your time.
Thanks for having me. Always.
Give Packer some love in the chat, people. Look after yourself, mate. Have a good weekend. Ta-da.
Ta-da.
That was Packer, and that was the stream. I want to thank Packer, of course. I want to thank all the guests. I want to thank everyone who donated. I am going to play a bit of music, though. Still time. And I want to thank, most of all, everyone who comes to these streams. because the missus went to the province today for a few days. That's why I thought I'd sneak in a stream. I didn't really have the energy for it, but I think we pulled it out of the bag. That's why it's so good having Packer there, because it's just someone, when I've run out of energy, I can bounce something off him and he goes and gets his leather jackets and cowboy boots and other ridiculously embarrassing garments. Yeah, thanks everyone for coming. Here's a bit of music from the Bally G, Paul Mumford. I'll dedicate this to the Anglo-Saxon, the individual, and the group of people. It's called Cold Hard Steel. Let me get my boat race off the screen like that. Ta-da, people. Take it away, Mumford. Let me know you can hear it. No, let me know if you can't hear it. Right.
Tell your daddy you're fighting good. Feel the glory he said you would. Tell your mama you're coming home. Over all of that death syndrome. But you realize you've been sold when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Feel the dawn of your final day. Feel the fear and go anyway. Get right in that.
Apologies, I will take it back. Paul C dropped a 10 spot at the last minute. Love the fashion show, Biggles, aka Packer. Nice one, Paul, and thank you, Dawn, for telling me that. And it would appear I missed another one from Anglo. I had little choice as a kid, piss poor, actually wore flares, yeah. There's photos of me and my brother at school in flares, yeah. Occasionally checked. Thanks, Mum. Nice one, Anglo. Nice one, Paul. I'll take the music back a little bit because that ain't fair. Much appreciated. And thank you, Dawn, for filling me in on that. Here we go.
Tell your daddy you're fighting good. Feel the glory he said you would. Tell your mama you're coming home. Over all of that death syndrome. But you realize you've been sold when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Feel the dawn of your final day. Feel the fear and go anyway. Get right in that big black plane. Kill your conscience along your brain. But you'll realize you've been sold when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Cause the wheels already been rolled when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Oh Lord. Do whatever they tell you to. Tell yourself it ain't really you. But when the slaughtering has begun, you'll be murdering someone's son. And you'll realize you've been sold when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Cause the wheels already been rolled when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Oh Lord. Yes, you'll realize you've been sold when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Oh Lord. Cause the wheels already been rolled when you feel the enemy enemies cold hard steel. Oh Lord,
Wow. Thank you, Anglo. I'll ask him. I'm not sure that Keys to the Kingdom's dropping some classic old scrubisms there while we're getting on. I'm not sure Mumford pays too much attention to lyrics, which I find a bit of a shame. You know, he's more about the music for him. I will ask him though. Someone said, do you remember the check jeans? Yeah, I do. Like a blue, slightly dark, they were like bleached jeans, not white, but like faded with like a slightly darker blue check. Fucking rank. I think they were fashionable for less time than Packer's jacket. They got about 10 seconds in about 84 or something. Absolutely awful stuff. Yeah, Start Stop was excellent. Was that when? I think that come from Barclay. God, fuck knows. I do remember waffles as well. Yeah, I had a pair of grey waffles. And I wore them once, and the mum of a mate up the road said, "Would you like a pair of trousers like that, David?" To my mate David. We were about like 11. He went, "Yeah, I really would." So she bought him a pair for school. Wouldn't let him wear them any other time. Wanted him to look well at school. Blogs wants me to find out what kind of weed Essex boy smokes. I don't know how he does anything after wake and bake. Tell him he looks like Richard Gannon. Well, weed affects people differently, doesn't it? I mean, I was chain smoking bifters and shooting heroin and on the diazes and drinking when I set my business up. I used to get really motivated on weed. I used to like write. I used to draw comics and things. I mean, if you're one of those people where it just couch locks you and you do nothing, unless that's what you want it for. But yeah, it's weird like that. All right, people, listen, you might be unlucky and I'll stream tomorrow. It will probably depend on whether Arsenal beat Fulham or not, because I'll be in a shitty mood if we don't. Who knows? I've got to get some writing done now. I'm going to be up until about 8 o'clock this morning. Oh, Lord. Anyway, it's been an absolute pleasure. Bless you all. Look after yourselves and don't forget to tell the people you love them. Now, go on, piss off up your own end. Oi!